Okay, there we are. Hi. Hi, Greg. Nice to see you. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? It's nice to see you. Obviously, today's a big day. Today's a huge day. Today's an amazing, amazing day. Because today is our first... And by the way, thank you, Greg. You are the one that kind of put this together. So enjoy the fruits of your labor. Today is our co-stream with a fellow VTuber on YouTube, RadMahou. Mahou? I just realized I didn't even... I'm totally butchering it yet again. Hi guys, nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. So let me go ahead and put the thing back on so I can actually we can actually talk and do things, because that's why I'm over here and he's over there. And if I unmute, maybe we'll actually talk. It'll be great. There we go. Okay, I think I should be back. That should be live.
Yeah, I can totally hear you.
There we go. And you're popping up now, so we're good.
Ooh, cool.
Look, we made technology work.
We made it work in our favor.
Yes, yes.
So reactive image is working?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, everything's working on our end. At least it all looks like it is. Oh, no. Oh, my internet is acting like real shit. Playing the stream at 144. Ooh. Ooh, that's...
Well, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. No.
That'll happen.
Pixelated is a thing, and it can be fun. The whole retro scene is very big, so just that's what you think. Just this is also a retro stream, so.
Right. That's how you make Final Fantasy XIV look like an NES game.
Yeah. You're taking it back to its roots. It just looks like the pixel remasters they're putting.
I wasn't sure if I was going to pick one of those up or not, but then I saw someone playing the 14 remaster, and then they allow you to run around on the world map at a higher speed, and now I think I have to take it up and play it again. I will do the same thing that I always do, which is basically I'm one of those people that, since I spend most of my time playing 14, I first of all very rarely buy a game unless it's on sale, just because. Sure. Yeah, if I'm spending all my time playing 14, it's very hard to just, unless I'm about to play the game right then and there, then but yeah, and plus I think, what is it, the old Final Fantasies are what, 30 years old now? So some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them are way back.
And
the first one came out, and I want to say 85, somewhere between 84 and 86.
Well, I know they did. I know it's been at least 30, because that was the whole Stormblood, as they did the whole Final Fantasy. That's why the raid set from Stormblood is all the old Final Fantasy bosses, because they were basically tied into the 30th anniversary celebration that they were doing. Yeah, I thought it was a really cool way to kind of promote the whole Final Fantasy thing, but not actually, not put it in your face that, oh, we're doing this because it's a, corporate mandated holiday, so to speak.
Right. That wasn't shoved down their throat. It strikes me that a lot of the 14 stuff, they kind of get to do almost whatever they want within reason.
Yeah, I know a lot of it has to do, I know one of the things that they talked about is they literally said, when they were first revamping it, they were we're trying to make Final Fantasy the theme park, basically, where you see little bits and pieces of all the Final Fantasies before. That's just enough to give you that nice nostalgia from things, and even if you don't.
I've definitely talked about that before. It's all of the references to a bunch of old Final Fantasies are everywhere, but also they don't really get in the way of anything. Everything really fits in to the world of 14 by itself.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't really. They don't have enough to take liberties with it so that it does fit into this particular version of things. Mm-hmm. But very much you can all tell, certain motifs or certain callbacks or other things, and it I think, what was it, for example, I've never played Final Fantasy 12 before, didn't pick it up at all, but it didn't wreck my enjoyment of the Evilus raid series or the Bozja stuff, or all the stuff that came from that, that was based off of that. Didn't ruin my enjoyment of that at all in the game, so I always liked that.
Yeah, that's probably one of the first things that comes to mind. I mean, the references are everywhere, but you don't have to have enjoyed Tactics or 12 to play the Evilus raids. They even got the Tactics guy, the guy who wrote it, to come back and write a lot of the Bozja storyline.
Yep.
And you don't have to play through that to enjoy any of that.
No.
Even within those, there's like a bunch of Final Fantasy 6 and 1 references just in like enemy designs, which are really cool to see, but also fit right in with just like the Garland Empire without knowing any of them.
Yep. No, absolutely. Like it's one of the things that for me has made it enjoyable. Is that there's always those little it's always those little hints of nostalgia that kind of just make me go, "Aw, that's nice," but I don't ever feel like it takes away from. Oh, hi, Nella. It doesn't ever take away from the enjoyment of the game, or doesn't like break immersion for me, or doesn't feel like it's part of a removed world that's in. I think the closest thing for that it was. I mean, honestly, the closest thing that they did that felt a little bit out of place was Nier, and that's but that's kind of to be expected, and they kind of played tongue in cheek with that it was like, oh yeah, this is all just a thing. We all came from another world. Now we go bye.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they did. It's very much not from any other Final Fantasy, and very much not from this world. But then again, like the way Final Fantasy 14 is set up is you kind of expect that a bunch of other random stuff we don't know about kind of exists out there in space, or other side dimensions, what have you.
Yeah.
So it kind of fits in when there's just a bunch of robot people saying like, yeah, we showed up here. We're not really sure how, but we did.
Yeah, well, and they've done the same thing with all their other like in-game promotions. Like they did a in-game 13 event and the in-game 15 event that they just replayed for. All of those are just kind of like, yeah, I mean, those ones you definitely feel a little bit more of the tie-in to them, but they kind of also play it off as the, oh, I'm just from another world and happened to have happened here, and now I'm suddenly mysteriously and magically going back to my old world. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for the help. Bye. Here's a car. Bye.
Yeah. That is always, to this day, that is always like one of my favorite things to see in this game is whenever you see somebody new playing and their very first time that they see that car drive by, and it's just like, oh, yeah, that's a thing. It still doesn't look right at all, but
no, it doesn't fit in. Even the 4 giant space whale fits in a little bit more.
Yes, the very large space whale has a better place in this game. They did that. That was another thing I remember that was a fun thing. Was they, for the longest time, they tried to, what was it with the mounts? They always tried to make a justification as to when they introduced flying. They were like, all right, we're gonna go ahead and start slowly adding flying to the mounts, but we'll make a justification as to why they're flying. And like try to always come up with some look, because it took them forever. Like I think even a lot of things. Yeah, and then
happened in like Shadowbringers, right?
Well, flying started in Heavensward, but most of the mounts, if they didn't come from Heavensward, didn't fly. They like all the primal ponies, anything that was just regular, did not fly at all, and they slowly started adding the whole and now like the chocobos originally could fly, but the fat chocobo couldn't. And they kind of said, oh, we'll just add in the cake so that it can fly, and a few other things. And finally, I think it was just after Stormblood came out, and they had the giant elephant mount, and they just finally said, look, we're tired of making these excuses as to why things fly, so with this patch, everything flies. We're not going to tell you why. It's just going to fly. If it's a giant elephant, yeah, it just happens.
Chocobo can fly. That little pot you can ride on or inside can fly.
Everything flies now, and we're not even gonna explain why. It's just that's just gonna be the way. So
I was maybe thinking of when they put flying back in ARR.
Oh yeah.
In Shadowbringers-esque.
Yes, that was they did that on a random patch, and I liked that very much because it reminded me, just like we were talking about before about World of Warcraft. Like I liked the idea behind Cataclysm, where they basically just redid all the old areas to be, nicer, and and I think to allow flying and a few other upgrades of things. But I remember that I also didn't like it because they literally just said, okay, we just remade the entire old world. Go back and play the old game again, is what it felt like.
Oh, sure.
And this one just more felt like it was just a patch of like, oh yeah, and by the way, we've added flying to we've redone the old world to do flying, and I think there was also the point where they tidied up the quests, where they tidied up all the...
Yeah, that sounds right to me. I I'd played like 1.0 when it first came out a while ago, but didn't
I'm
really
sorry.
stick with the game too much. Yeah, well, that's everybody's opinion, right? It was
Yep.
It was a neat idea that didn't quite work out. And then came back, I think, shortly, like right as Shadowbringers was launching, and played through all of it then. And it was great. It's fantastic now.
Yeah, no, I remember hearing, and I haven't played through it since they did the cut of everything, but I remembered hearing that they cut like a good, I want to say like 30% of the original quests from 2.0.
Like that.
Yeah.
I played through a bunch of it, I think, right before they did the cut. Or at least I hit like Stormblood or something right before they hit the cut. So I got
okay.
through AAR right before they cut everything. And there was like, so I don't actually know what they cut, but I know there's a lot of little in between stuff in between AAR and Heavensward that they could have cut. I didn't really mind a lot of that. There was a ton of questing, but you also got to see like little things with Tataru and little side scions. That was pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah, I just remember that was always the biggest thing for like friends. Whenever I'd invite friends to come over and play, it was always my biggest thing to get them to actually stay playing. Is that they'd get through 2.0, they'd get through A Realm Reborn, and they'd get to that middling period of all the quests that were between 2.0 and Heavensward, and that was always the point that they'd leave. I probably have a good, like, I think 7 or 10 people that we all invited to come and play, and they all quit at that point because they were just like, this is boring, this is dragging on, I can't take this anymore. And of course I'm just going, just get through it, you'll get to Heavensward, it'll be amazing.
Yeah, you can be like, after you see this main scene, you can just kind of skip some stuff until you get to like Shiva territory.
Yep. So I was glad that, and you've got to think that they did that for that reason. You've got to think that they probably saw how many people were, how far people were progressing, and probably saw a lot of people dropping off at that point. And we're like, I don't think so. And that's probably what, I mean, because otherwise, I mean, if they thought that everybody was making it through there just fine, I don't think they would have changed it. So the fact that they went back and changed it tells me that, oh yeah, it must have been a pretty big pain point.
They had to have known. They had to have known. They cut out, like, they kept all of their original story, and they wanted to get people. They've constantly made changes that'll make like catching up to current even easier, right? Like even with, I think, either one of the most recent patches they made, or maybe just the release of Endwalker, they made leveling alts even easier through daily roulettes.
Yeah. I personally, I haven't tried leveling a lot of stuff through the roulette, although I do have, I did take a character of mine over to the new data center with the XP boost. They need to sell that. They just need to sell that. That thing is just absolutely bonkers. I think I had a friend of mine who decided they were going to do that for the because if you go to a preferred server and you make a character and get it up to level 30, you get 15 days of free playtime.
Yeah.
And she did it in like a day.
Yeah, exactly. I remember, I think when I first came back and started, I picked the server I'm on right now because it had that leveling boost and was a less populated server. And I don't know if we have that anymore, but I do have, like, you have a character at 80, so everybody, or at 90 now, so everybody else levels quickly.
No, it's
so fast.
Yeah, no, it went away. It went away. I think this second character that I've got that we're playing on tonight is the one that I leveled up specifically for that, because I had a friend over here who was starting to play. They picked this server. I'm like, oh, that's not my even on my data center. Oh well, let me just go ahead and make another character over there. And oh, there's this leveling buff. What is this? And next thing I know, I'm like,
it's huge. Yeah, I think I got to right before I got the Heavensward, or right as I got the Heavensward, I was already like 2 or 3 levels above the AAR cap.
Yep.
At least.
I think it was also that also reminds me of the funniest thing I saw. So a lot of WoW players came over afterwards and started playing Final Fantasy after the whole story WoW debacle they've been having over there. And I thought it was hysterical that there was a guy who was still going through the storyline and was, I think, somewhere in that the A Realm Reborn Heavensward area. So he had one character that was up to, you know, in the mid 50s or something like that. He had another character that was in the 30s. But then he showed off his Fisher, and his Fisher was level 90. And he had to go and buy the expansion before he even got there because he was level capped. But he was level capped at 80, and he was like, no, I want to keep fishing.
It's actually fun. Yeah.
I don't know about that. Fishing is a weird thing for me. Like I like ocean fishing. Ocean fishing for me is fun. Regular fishing is a nightmare that I remember that I used to cry in my seat about having to do. So it's. I haven't actually tried it out yet, but I do see a lot of people doing like just fishing streams. You know, we'll have a talking stream, and by the way, I'm going to be doing fishing in 14 in the background. Okay, all right. I mean, I can see that because there's not really a lot. It's just a random grab bag of whatever you're going to get out of there. Like, at least with ocean fishing, like there's a little bit of a goal that you're got on. Like, okay, you got, you know, what is it, like 18 minutes, and you have to catch this many types of fish, and you have to get this many points and do these things. Like, there are certain conditions that you're trying to, there's at least like a goal there. And otherwise, I think, and well, I don't know, maybe it's just like it's because it feels more like a gotcha game, because all you're doing is just like literally like opening the next reel and what random thing did you get today?
Sure.
I don't know. All right, well,
Gotcha, but that sounds all right.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. All right, let me go ahead and pop oh, that's right, I didn't resize. Ooh. You were big. You're a big guy. I sized you on the chatting screen. I did not size you on the game screen. So I switched over. I'm like, oh, that's very large. Hello there, sir.
That will happen.
Yep, that does happen. All right, I think that is, yeah, there we go. All right, so I guess we want to party up and do things.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Oh, actually, this is the fun. We got all the stuff together in game, and we totally didn't even like friend each other. There's a whole game thing here to do. Actually, I need to we should maybe do that. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I think if I remember correctly, I actually will have to. You are on. Come on, hi there.
I'm on Goblin.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, let me go ahead and pop over because we at least have to be on the same server to do the friend thing. Otherwise, it doesn't let you kind of send invites in between. Yeah. For whatever. Yeah, it's there are a lot of weird things with. It
makes sense. The game is still built on the bones of 1.0, and I think they've kind of talked about the various limitations of that.
I still hate their explanation of why everything is everything is a single character now. They do so few account-wide things because they keep saying, yeah, 1.0 limitations are say that we're going to run out of gift codes, so we only can do a certain number of them, and if we make things account-wide, then every character gets a gift code, and that runs us out of money, or runs us out of codes and everything. Oh, I am now being stared at by a guy. Hello there, sir. I don't even know who you are, but I'm going to wave at you. And I've been patted.
I'm running around Rats at Han staring at people myself, so it's fine.
Nice, yeah. All right, well then I will just teleport to Razat Han, and while this guy, oh, he's just a noob. That's so nice. I like all the new people. Let's see.
Yeah, I see you.
Oh, there you are. And I can do it. Oh, you beat me to it.
Yeah, I play over on controller, and it's pretty nice.
Oh, yeah. I had to play on the PS4 for a while, because my computer died several years ago, and I was like, it's going to be a month or so before we actually get a new one. And so I had to play on the PS4 during that time. There were some things that I really liked on the controller. Some things I didn't, but...
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on the genre of game. I mostly play on mouse and keyboard, and have definitely done that for every single MMO before. But I don't know, way back when, decided to try things out on the controller and kind of fell in love with it. Like I almost wish every single MMO I've ever played used the cross hotbar setup.
Oh yeah, no, for me, it's still not the preferred method, but I still think that I think it's very ingenious what they came up with to make this playable on a console, or just with a joystick or with a gamepad. I think it's really clever.
And certainly, you can get kind of messed up with like going back and forth in between whatever triggers and however your hotbars are set up. But so I can definitely see the argument that you can do things faster on mouse and keyboard, but I'm just surprised at how well it works with everything.
Oh yeah, no, I think like for example, for me, I really appreciated gathering on a controller was really nice, and I think crafting as well for a lot of things. If I wasn't doing any macros, then that worked out really well. I think it was just a lot of, I remember it was a lot of like muscle memory stuff that I would have to think about. Like, you know, just I'd have to. I've played the game so long in this particular fashion that's just how my brain is wired to work at this point, and it would take a long time to get out of that habit of, oh, this button does this and this button does that. No, what am I doing here? Because I remember that was a lot of the problems that I had with it. But I still appreciate it. Like one of my best friends is probably one of the best white mages I know, and he's played on a controller for the entire time and is above and beyond. He's such a good healer, so I kind of like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy just how like some of the little things up and down being going through party list is really simple and then works really well. Yeah,
no, some people I know, I don't know why some people do. Some people disparage people who play on controllers or play against people who play on the consoles or whatever, and I'm like, no, it's just different. It's just different, but it all but it all works out well.
Easier to make a mistake, but it still works really well. Exactly. Like,
oh yeah. Oh, believe me, I cannot heal somebody just as well as anybody else can.
Right. You can still click on the wrong name with your mouse or whatever.
Absolutely.
You can set up a macro and use the wrong macro.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, I can finally get rid of my Aether Compass because I finally unlocked flying everywhere, so I don't need that anymore. At least for another expansion.
Right. Could do that and put another mount on my hotbar, but I've still got extra space on Dancer.
Yeah. No, I just have the two mounts that I have on my normal hotbar just for solo, and if I need a duo mount, then I guess if I need, what are the rest of my mounts? Do I have them?
I have a duo.
Oh, there they are.
Actually. I do have 7 on my hotbar right now, even though I only use like 2.
Oh, I haven't switched those over from my main because half of those mounts are not available on this one. But yeah, at least have a couple. I have a few multi-person mounts. So, but I only usually use one for 2 people. I mean, like seriously, how often are you actually taking 8 people around for anything that you need?
Yeah, you're not going to like be shuffling around a raid party.
No. All right.
Actually, out in the open world, even if you're going to dungeons, that's just 4 people.
So I did find this out. The good thing for the real good purpose for the whale is for map parties.
Sure, absolutely.
That's the one time where it actually makes sense, because that is 8 people, or however many people you can get to go for them. All going to one spot in the open world.
Carry almost an entire Fate Train in your one mount.
True. Oh yeah, Fate Train's another good one. Or if you're on the hunt train for all the A ranks, that's another one. But so many people there are just like, nope, I'll get on my own mount. I can get there faster. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I haven't really done too much hunting, but that's definitely a thing. I've seen parties go around, or people announce rare hunts popping up, stuff like that.
Yeah, I like I like them when I can find them. They're a fun thing to get on, and I've accidentally capped myself on Tome so many times just doing those, because you just get so many of them during it, and it's not a whole lot of effort.
I believe it. If you can get a hunt party going the same way as even a medium-sized Fate Train, then you can blow through those really quickly.
Oh yeah, no, it's well, and again, I don't know if it's the same way here or not. For the most part, most of the fate or the hunt trains that I've seen are all really good because they have a lot of people who scout them out. So they'll have basically like a bunch of people go to all the different zones and they'll find all the A rank mount or hunts that are there and basically mark them so that whoever the train master is basically says, all right, here's our first stop. We're going here and here's the coordinates for the mob. And they just constantly are just shouting it in the zone. All right, we're next one. Here's this one. And next one is, all right, now we're going to the next zone. And here it is in instance 1 and go.
That's pretty much how I've kind of just hopped into random ones or like
that's
rare larger zone fights.
Yep, that's all you do is just wait for the giant chats of things and do that. So yeah, those are lots of fun. All right, well let's see. What do you want to do? You said we wanted to do some roulettes. What roulettes are you having in mind?
I usually just kind of like go through the dailies. We'll go down the list or play as a different class depending on whatever we're doing. But we have, let's see, you've got a white mage and a red mage, right?
Yes.
And I have one for every role. So I've got warrior, white mage, dragoon, black mage, dancer, and monk. Up to 90 right now.
Okay. Well,
so we can kind of queue for whatever, really.
Yeah. I mean, all my stuff is. I think everything is above 70 on this character. Yeah. So I mean, it's we'll only need a 90 for expert.
Yeah.
And then we can just
kind of expert. And that's fine. I'm already capped on astronomies for the week.
Oh.
But use more
I just unlocked because we just finished Endwalker yesterday. Was it yesterday? Day before?
Wow, congrats.
Yeah.
That's on this server, though.
Yeah, that's on this server. So second one. But it's the first time I've had both of these characters at the same point. Like, this one has always been just a little behind for the most part. So it was the first time that I've actually had both of these two characters kind of actually able to do end-game content at the same time, which is nice.
I really like White Mage. And Red Mage is a ton of fun, but I haven't played one this expansion yet.
They didn't add much this time, which I appreciated a lot. That this time they didn't add a whole lot to any of the jobs. They just kind of did a lot of traits, so a lot of like improvements of your previous abilities.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
A lot of traits in some classes got like a little bit of tweaking back and forth.
Yeah. Like what was? Let me see.
They all feel pretty good so far.
Let's see. Red Mage. What did Red Mage add? Did it actually even add any skills at all? It added one. Yeah. It added it is a damage reduction and a increase in healing for 10 for 10 seconds.
Okay, I mean that's pretty nice though.
Yeah, I mean but I like it because it doesn't mess with the rotation at all. Like the rotation that you learned at 80 is pretty much the same thing you're doing at 90. They did add a couple of things here and there, but what I like about what they did is they didn't they kind of added it on top of other skills. Like it's one of the things I love about PvP in this game is the fact that they set all your combos as just one button click, so you can cycle through your normal combos, but then you only need one button to do it. And it looks like they're kind of taking that philosophy a little bit into the normal classes, because they added a few spells here and there, but they're all like, once you cast this spell, it's replaced with this spell, and then it will be replaced with a third spell, and then it goes back to normal. So it doesn't.
I was just looking at Black Mage for that exact same reason, because they usually, that class has a reputation of changing up every single expansion. 50, and then every 10 levels, it's a different rotation almost entirely.
No, God, yes.
And I love it, but it's so satisfying and the easiest thing to screw up. But all they did for Endwalker like they're going to do anything else, but all they did for Endwalker was they upgraded Fire 2 and Ice 2, or Blizzard 2, and then they give you Paradox, which kind of seems like it might change up the rotation, but it just kind of extends the rotation, and it gives you an option to either like extend the fire phase or ice phase.
Well, so here's the thing that I like, and this is the thing I like, even just looking at it, is it's a skill that says this action cannot be assigned to a hotbar, which means it's just going to replace another skill that's already on my bar to begin with.
Yeah, that too.
And
that a lot, I think.
Yeah, that's what I appreciate the most is that, you know, right now my bars are kind of they're pretty much at their max capacity for some classes. Some there's a little bit of give, but overall most of them are kind of in this nice sweet spot of like 5 and 5 skills in certain places, and I like that. So anything that adds above that just is trying to find another like space in an already crowded space to begin with. So so I really like that they're kind of doing that with that seems to be the design philosophy this time, is that we're not going to we'll increase the stuff that you have, but we won't increase the space you need to actually like handle it.
Right. We're giving you more options, but not actually more buttons.
Yes. I like that.
Yeah. I went back to Monk a couple of weeks ago because I had run some dungeons with some people that seemed to be really enjoying it. And not having played that for a while, Monk, you know, looking up ideal rotation or whatever online, it looks kind of confusing. When I was trying to put together my hotbar, I was like, what is all of this? Where is this button? Oh, it's not a button. Where's this other button? Oh, it's also not a button. And then you kind of like practice it for just a little bit, and it has, you know, 2 3-button main rotations that you hop back and forth between.
Yep.
And everything else that you weave in. But once you get that down, it's really, really simple. And then a bunch of the new skills from like 70 to 90 basically are just the new blitz techniques. And so you use them depending on what situation you're in. You have your chakras and your solar and lunar nadis, and all of that's just one button.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that was kind of the joke we had going around, as everybody said, and now it's time for the 3 new classes this time: Reaper, Sage, and Monk. Because Monk's just a new class every expansion.
I hear about that. I only played one in Shadowbringers, so I only knew that version. But even then, I remember everybody saying like, "Oh my God, Grease Lightning! I'm so glad it's just a trait now. Holy crap!"
Yeah. No, it's one of those things to where it made sense the way they did it. Like if you think about the way that they did it, it made sense from a certain angle. Like, you know, that, you know, you start off slow and then you kind of work your way up. But in game things, it's not nearly as fun as just you just go fast.
Yeah, you just go fast.
Yeah.
No, you just have a trait that makes everything faster.
Yeah, and it's just always fast, and yeah, no, they seem to have erred a lot more this time on like the side of quote unquote just, you know, what is it, the rule of cool. Like, we'll just, you know, if it works out, it doesn't matter if it makes sense. We'll just do it because it's cool and it's fun.
Right. And that does tend to work pretty well.
Yep.
No, even kind of did. I think the only thing that might be like in a little bit of a state that people aren't happy with is Summoner right now, right? Like, it was simplified.
Oh.
And
I love new Summoner compared to, I think there's nostalgia stuff.
Very straightforward.
There's nostalgia stuff with old Summoner. Like I mean, I'll talk to sometimes about, like, it was fun when I could use Titan as a tank and I could just go and I could solo anything because Titan was my tank. And, you know, I want to do a Fate by myself. Cool. Titan's my tank and we'll just go for it. Or, you know, any of those, like those kind of stories where it's like that, where it's that. Yeah, it's that. But this version of Summoner just feels really, really good. Like, it just feels
very smooth.
Yeah.
Really easy to understand.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like it's a that was, I think I remember, was the biggest thing for the previous Summoners, was that if you were doing anything, it was always, you always had Garuda out for anything that was like, you know, packs of mobs or anything else, and if you were boss fighting or anything else, it was Ifrit. You never brought out Titan ever, because after he couldn't be targeted, he was useless at that point. So it was one of those things where just everything kind of felt like, you were just doing this, you know, one thing dependent, and it was always the same. And it's kind of nice that now, no, there's a reason for all the summons now. Everything has a purpose. And
right, they're all kind of the same thing, but they all definitely act differently, especially at max level right now.
Yeah.
And now they look way cooler.
Oh, yes, they do.
So that's great.
Yeah, no, that's again, that goes back to that whole like we're just gonna do the rule of cool thing of just, you know, does it look cool? Cool. That's what we're going for.
Right. All right. Your EGs, those are nice. Those are neat. But like, what about summoning Titan?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
for it to just rush in.
Yeah. I hope at some point, I do hope that they do eventually add more summons, especially if this is going to be the style that they do from now on. I would love. I think that's always been the biggest complaint about summoners is that, you know, we want to be able to summon more stuff, and there's definitely been more than three primals that we fought since since this all came out. So
yeah, even with like the AAR ones, you could throw in Rama and Leviathan, and that would be pretty neat.
I remember back then there were a lot of, and even it's funny, the quest teases it that they're one of the summoner job quests. Right? Yeah, teases the fact of, oh, we'll let you do Ramu, and then they're like, oh no, not really. We were just joking about. Yeah, oh yeah. Someone in my chat said we should need to have the anima summon.
Oh my god, that would be nutty.
Yeah,
that would be absolutely nutty.
Yeah, it's again, it's one of those things where like I know that especially if this was like a standalone MMO or a standalone game, like yeah, the summoner would be every single thing you could fight. You'd probably have a summon for it and could just do from that.
I think they might be doing a lot of, or channeling a lot of those ideas into Final Fantasy 16 because I think the main character in that is supposed to be a summoner.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like that is speaking of those games that I will not buy unless I'm about to play them at full price. That will be one of them that I buy at full price because that thing looks amazing, and especially knowing that Yoshida's helming it, that gives me a lot of confidence that it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, exactly, man. That guy, he gets a lot of work done. It's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah. I remember seeing an interview where at some point he was only doing like 4 hours of sleep, and I'm like, how do you even function? Yeah. How do you function?
Right, please don't burn yourself out. I definitely have days where like I don't get anywhere near an 8-hour sleep schedule, but if I were on 4 for like months straight, I would just quit.
I don't know if I'd quit just because this would have been such a dream job to work on a project like this, but at the same time, I don't think I'd be able to function properly at that point. I'd be like, sure, so the monk is going to summon Titan, and then we'll give them a raise too while we're at it.
Why not?
Yeah.
Chakra, whatever.
Yeah, sure, it's fine. Yeah, the healing chakra. Yeah, I heal you with my fist in the face. Yeah, that. I still remember people
punch magic.
People actually asked for that when they were asking for a new healer. That was one of the ideas that kept getting floated around. Was they wanted to have a melee DPS healer who would punch people and it would heal somebody else. And so
Monk already has the thing to like help out with heals.
Right, but they actually wanted it to be a dedicated healer. That's what they wanted Sage to be. They wanted Sage to be somebody who would rush up, punch somebody in the face, and would heal somebody else. And I guess they kind of looked at all that and was like, well, maybe not a melee, but ranged, we could probably do that. Because
you've also got the tiny heals on Dancer and Sage. I haven't played Sage or Reaper yet. I hear they're both really fun. But Sage seems kind of offensive for something that is like ostensibly a pretty good shield healer.
So I figured this part out from it. So Sage basically, so you heal somebody as you're doing DPS, and it's basically equivalent to just having your fairy out as the scholar. So because the fairy is just doing passive healing as it does, and it basically equals out to the same amount that you heal people as you shoot them. So it kind of all works out. Sage is a lot of fun. That's the healer I got to 90 on my main. But it is it takes a little bit of getting used to. It's not like the normal scholar healer. It takes a lot more.
It seemed they both seem very different, but of course that's coming from my perspective of like only having a white mage.
Right. Yeah.
Healer class.
Yeah. No.
Which is very reactive. A little proactive.
Yeah, no, Sage is very Sage is just very nice because it has it's like White Mage in that it has some emergency, like it has your panic buttons, which Scholar doesn't really have. Scholar doesn't have a lot of panic buttons, and Sage does. But it definitely feels like it's a much more offensive. It feels like it's a much more offensive Scholar. But it's It's been fun. Reaper is absolutely like they've nailed the melee class with that. Like I know people now that have never played melee and are jumping on becoming Reaper mains because of how smooth everything goes into. What was it I basically looked at? I said it's kind of like what would have happened if what is it? If there should be a podcast.
It has been almost an hour.
Yeah, it has almost been an hour, and we haven't actually done anything except stand around there, which is fine. I don't mind that. Like, we got plenty of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reaper is just really great. It's like what did I say? It's like what would happen if a Dragoon and is it Samurai? Yeah, it's like if Dragoon and Samurai got together and had a small child with a Dark Knight as a godfather.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's very much it's building up a combo like Dragoon is, and then you build up kind of your meter to get everything.
Yeah, you also have like a meter or two, kind of like Samurai.
Yep, you have two. Yeah, you have 2 meters for. So you build up 1 meter. Using the first meter builds up your second meter, and your second meter is basically your giant explosion of DPS everywhere. But
okay.
There is, but just like Dark Knight, it has a shield that if you break it, heals. And I believe, does it heal everybody? Let's see. Does it? Yeah, it'll heal. Once you get it high enough, it'll heal both you and your party around you. So it actually, like, you start being like Dark Knight, where you're like, all right, I've got my shield up. Now, what AoE can I stand in?
Right. Let me go take some damage in the face.
Yeah,
to really make this work.
Yeah, no, it's a very, very fluid class. It's very, very fun to play. And like I said, I've had a few friends that have strictly been ranged classes that decided to try it out, and they're like, oh no, I'm a Reaper main now. I've ranged nothing. I'm up there.
Yeah, I totally understand both perspectives. I love playing my dancer because it's so simple. Like, if you really want to get technical and try and like balance things in between 2 dancers, there's some timing going on there, and that's pretty cool and fun. But otherwise, you just have way more mobility than every single melee class. You can be anywhere in the fight, and you just press the shiny button, and good things happen. But also, I love playing Monk and Dragoon. The flow of those rotations and the kind of like Monk looked really complicated when I was trying to look up Endwalker rotations and stuff, and then you kind of get the feel for it, and it flows very, very easily, and it's fun. And Dragoon, like, starts out. It's the class I started as way back when, and it felt very kind of simple and straightforward at the time. And now it's like, it's not a mess, but there's a lot going on with your rotation and how you have to weave things in, and when do you want to jump, and when do you want to gear Casol.
Or you could just be like me and just press the buttons and be a horrible and gray parse like.
Yeah, I still haven't done any like damage parsing stuff.
No.
I want to do that too.
Nope. I
better myself.
I don't wish to do that to myself. I like to live ignorance is bliss and all that. And
Sure.
And it's basically as long as the way I look at it is as long as I'm not dying, then we're
as long as you're not dying, as long as you're still clearing whatever content with whatever party you're with, you're doing fine, really.
Yeah.
This is the chill MMO. It's good.
No, and I've always liked that. I love the fact that even in, well, granted, I haven't been in a lot of like the really, really end game stuff, but I've done some Savage raiding, and even there, it's not a lot. It doesn't feel high pressure, I guess is the right word. Like, there doesn't feel like, there doesn't feel a lot of need. And maybe it's just my group. Maybe the groups I've been with have just been really, really good, and they're like, no, we'll just carry this. We'll carry this guy. But
maybe, but that's what I hear about a lot of, just like a lot of the content in this game. There is, extremes and savages, and I haven't done too many of those. I, get hards every once in a while in roulettes, but I've done a couple of like, I think Heaven's Word, extremes. Or maybe savage fights with like the Knights of the Round fight.
Oh, that's so good.
It's still great, yeah.
Oh yeah. No,
and it's definitely not as punishing as other like high tier raid content in some MMOs I've played. there's a lot of dancing around, and it's a lot tougher than normal, but everybody's pretty understanding.
Yeah.
You just go in and be like, hey, I'm new to this. And they're like, oh, okay, here's some tips. Let's go. Don't worry about it.
The only one that I do not will not be that happy with is if I ever get Remove Extreme. Remove Extreme is still, to this day, is still one of the hardest things to do synced because it requires people to still do mechanics and challenging mechanics that you know are not just the all right, one person stand over here and everybody else stands over here. No, it's the all right, now you do this. Unless this happens, then the other person needs to do this, or unless the other thing happens, then you'd have to both do this thing together.
Right.
Unless the other thing happens. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of like. Yep. So.
Yeah. I did remove hard the other day, and I think there were 2 sprouts in there, and we had like 4 or 5 people down at one point. Just to maybe one mechanic.
Yeah.
We still only did it in one try.
Yeah. No. If you so on main I have mentor roulette, and you can I love the idea of mentor roulette. Mentor roulette is literally IQ for the game for every single thing that there is. Extremes, you know, whatever it is, as long as it's in the duty finder, you're queuing for it. And I've occasionally gotten people who've queued up for extreme through the duty finder, which means it's synced. And it is, yeah, it's like basically it's a lot. It's just so much coordination, especially between the tanks, because it's a lot of tank swapping. It's a lot of you eat this orb, but not too many. And if the tank has that many orbs, you have to watch their debuffs for things, and you still have to do all those things with it. And those ones,
not too many orbs, but definitely more than one.
Yes. And those ones will usually take an hour. Those will take the full hour to if we're gonna clear it.
I believe it.
Yeah. But it's the only one that still does that. Like most of the other ones, if I get them, they're fine. We'll wipe a couple times and it's fine. But that one, for whatever reason, still to this day, still just takes forever to do. Like us trying to pick something to we still have not. Here, let's do the thing. Let's do the thing so that there's things going on. All right, so let's just do the first. So we're just gonna go down the list and
we're just go down the list.
All right,
that's fine by me.
Sure, let's do that. Let's see how long the queue is for a tank and healer combo. Who are lucky DPS people? There's a queue. What is this?
There's an actual queue.
There's a queue for a tank and a healer. Yesterday. What is wrong? What is wrong with this data set?
Same feeling yesterday. I was doing a couple of things and they were rather instant. I think I like got lucked out and got an instant queue on my dancer for like alliance raids, and then tried to do, I don't know, leveling or 50, 60, 70, 80s on my healer. And I was like, oh god, am I gonna have to wait around for more than a minute? What's going on?
Okay, there. All right, that's that. I feel a little bit better. Not much, though. I still need to complain to management about that. Be like,
it was almost 30 seconds. That's a bit too much for a tank and a healer.
Yes. Even for one, that's still a lot. But for two? No.
We're only waiting on DPS. Whoop. Here comes the copyright song.
Did they actually tag you for this song?
It's not like a strike, but yeah.
Interesting.
Because there are lyrics.
Well, it's normally not the lyrics that'll get you for it. I mean, they'll anything that's represented, but most of the time I haven't yet seen any strikes on any of the other videos for other stuff. But of course I haven't. Like I said, I think did we just unlock these dungeons on my main? I think so. It hasn't been that long, so we'll see.
I mean, it won't be anything serious. I'm not even monetized yet, so
yeah. Oh no, I don't. I'm not even monetized yet. You have to get to 1,000 subscribers before you can start monetizing on YouTube. Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
I'm gonna eat a couple of times. It's all right.
Yeah.
I'll just no contest, Not that button. See, there's a controller mistake. Oh no.
It's
It'll be all
fine. It's all fine. See, everything's dead and everybody's alive. That's all that matters.
right. Exactly.
Flow and Dragon Song will. Yeah, no, those I remember. I remember those because those have, if I remember correctly, I think most of those are down because they are Umatsu's like songs, and he publishes those to a different company, and those actually do.
Maybe. I know Dragon Song, or at least if that's the Heaven's Sword theme.
Yep.
I got dinged for that. Not dinged, you know, but...
Yeah, you just got told, oh, your stuff contains copyrighted stuff, so.
Right. You can't be modified because, like, some Brazilian company owns the rights to their Maybe that's what Uematsu went through?
I have no idea. I still haven't gotten one yet, so that's why I'm like, I'll just... Although it was interesting, I did... I actually did get the when I was long ago when I was streaming on Twitch. I did actually get copyright struck for something, but it was actually something that I had gotten permission to play. And so it was one of the times where like, you've been copyright struck for this. I'm like, no, I haven't. And I just wrote them back and said, no, I have permission to play this. And they like, okay, cool. And they just enabled it again, and that was it. Never heard from them again after that.
I think Twitch is a little bit more strict about that, but YouTube is very automated.
Yeah, that. Well, I think it was automated for this one on Twitch too, because it was just some random record label that was distributing it, which was fine. Like, I can understand them, like, you know. Nope.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
The right way.
Oh, and we do have a nice summoner with us to. Oh. Grab. Did I get you? No. I tried. There was an attempt.
It's gonna be fine. As long as I don't stand in the fire too long.
Ah, dang it. Just the fire.
Stand in the fire, get knocked back, and what else do I have to worry about? These missiles. Don't they ever get placed on the tank?
No, I don't think so. Unless you've done something. Yep.
There's our push away.
Yeah. Have some fun stuff. I will not be on that side.
I love Warrior.
Warrior's always been just a really good. It's a really fun tank.
It's so solid, and it just feels like you're. Oh wow! I actually got this one.
Oh.
It's fine. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Warrior kind of just feels like shouting damage at people. Thought I was gonna go clean the burns.
Warrior is definitely my go-to if I'm, especially if I'm wanting to solo anything. That's always the job to go to.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of Black Knight in Shadowbringers, but I hear they're maybe a little bit squishy right now.
Yeah. I mean, they've been kind of put in the same. Been put a little bit more in the same category as Paladins are for that.
Really, I don't tell it to be quite tanky. I mean, Warriors can always wall pull and just continue to heal themselves.
Yeah, right now I totally think Warrior is very broken on their heals with that.
One button, but man, that one button.
Yep. It is the one button of, you know what? Who needs the healer?
Yeah.
Healers are optional.
For like the next 10 seconds. Shield me or regen me or whatever. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I got this.
I mean, granted, as the healer, it's a nice thing because I can take a break and be like, all right, I'm actually going to do all my DPS stuff now. And
yeah, I agree. Warrior has always been fun. I really do feel like you're just going in and roaring. That's what wins. I wasn't really sure about the presentation when I first picked it up because I always associate Warrior with like FF1 fighter.
ah, okay.
Big ol' axe. I guess you can use axes in the game. Yeah, the more I play it, the more I love it.
Yeah.
I even picked it up after Dark Knight, and leveling Dark Knight back in Shadow Bridge was tons of fun. Great class quest. Walk to play. But Warrior's so straightforward.
Yeah, I have a friend who. Oh, hello. Oh,
I thought I hit my heels.
I thought I hit the heel. Well, it ate my Benny, so there that happened.
Oh, well, you got off. I definitely didn't get the full heal. What's going on, game?
Yeah.
There's mine.
There's the happy heals. Did I use? Okay, I did use my thing, so we're just gonna.
It's fine. It happens.
It's fine. It's all fine. I like how they're all waiting and dead.
I was wondering where this is taking a little bit.
Yeah.
But, you know, as Warrior, I tend to just not really.
Oh, there we go. Nope. And of course, now she releases right as my right as my cooldown, so it eats my swift cast again.
It happens all the time.
Well, no, it's more the like so normally at that case if everybody's wiped except for that, it's better for you to just if you're the DPS, it's better to just run back because then you don't get res sickness and you'll get there faster than you're gonna get rezzed. So
Right.
I was kind of looking at that, waiting for them like, okay, anytime now, you guys, and then oh, you're not going. Okay, well, I'll just go ahead and res you now because my swift cast has come up. Oh, you guys.
Right.
Hit the button right as I hit that. Dang. Oh well. It's fine. They're all dead, and we're technically not dead.
You'll have your swift cast back by the time they get back.
Yes.
Here's one. Definitely had some heals available, but
Yeah.
we'll call that lag.
Yes. Well, that's exactly what it says. It's lag. Brain to keyboard lag.
Precisely. That's a type of lag.
It is. Absolutely.
All right.
Number 2. I have to remind myself what this guy does every time because his attacks are just not. It's not memorable for me.
Yeah, it's nothing too special. He has the dash around
Yep.
thing, and then the lasers.
Yep, here we go for the.
Of course, don't remember what any of them are called. Oh, okay.
All right, so it's going to be over here, and then you will need to be over here. Who am I rescuing? I'm rescuing you. Although probably I should have rescued the summoner because the monk at least apparently has their dash. It's just like, nah, screw it. I'll get there fast enough. I don't think you get something like that as a summoner. I think I'm wrong.
I really wish that monk dash did even a tiny amount of damage. But it's still nice. I feel like there is. Maybe.
Alright, nope, number one.
Yeah, let's spread out of it. I think we're good.
Yep.
Wow, that's maybe the most lined up I've ever seen a group, actually.
Oh, that's right. You do get a dash as a summoner, but it's just part of your Ifrit. Alright, which way you going? Yeah, you're going this way.
Right back over here. Yeah, this dungeon's not quite as memorable as what's it called? Well, Sigmascape. Wait, this is Sigmascape.
Yeah, the Omega prototype is at least a little bit more of a memorable fight. Especially, I love the fact that of that fight that they make the the side that the lasers are firing on so obvious. Since everybody complained about how not obvious starboard and larboard were. So I'm like,
Hey, that's fair. Not everybody's going to know larboard.
that is true, but that was always to me what the joke was for it. It's like, oh, you guys really couldn't tell what it was? Well, back when it first was starting out, it was really, really obvious which side it's firing.
Right. Yeah, a lot of this is really, really obvious, but sometimes I can't even, like, flack for that. I'll still frequently screw up Amon's left and right side hand blasts.
No, yeah. Well, it's because he's facing the different way than you normally are used to facing. So it's actually the because I had to think about that as well. Because most of the time I'm used to it being, you know, like your mirror facing him, and it's like, nope, it's his face.
Right, it's his arm. I did the exact same thing. I confused myself at first by being like, okay, maybe it's like stage right. No, it's his right. Say really, really great music. That doesn't really narrow it down much in this game.
Nah, you can definitely tell the soundtrack has gotten so much better from when it started out.
It has. Like, AAR has some pretty good music, but I think the first time I ever said, oh man, this music, that's amazing, was the middle of the Shiva fight.
Oh yeah.
And then it just gets better from there.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, I think last time in chat, on how it's like, it was so nice of Soken for him to have released his album and include a free video game along with it.
That's the guilty gear joke. So nice for guilty gear. So video game album.
Yeah, and you get a free game along with it. How nice of him.
Yeah. Music forever. I might as well play a game too, I guess.
Look at that. Nice.
You see, they had a dev stream a few months ago. I forget what they were addressing, but one of the things they brought up to the fans was, you know how Koji Fox does a lot of the vocals for
Yes.
Primal songs? They brought out a thing where they were like, look, we fully admit that none of us are good vocalists. So we thought what we would do is we found the raw, unprocessed Koji Fox vocals.
Oh no.
Like those on stream, they're like, wow. It's kind of surprising what you can do with some filters.
Yeah.
They can't see, but they still sound good. They have good songs.
Well, I remember that was actually one of the things that Soken talked about a lot when he was about some of his songs, was he was talking about how he wasn't purposefully trying to make the lyrics unintelligible, but he just had this thing of where he thought more of the voice as an extra instrument, and was like, despite whatever the lyrics are, they may have meaning to it, but at the same time, we have a lot of our audience that doesn't speak English, and so the lyrics don't mean anything to them anyway. So it's important for me to not only make the lyrics, to have them sound so the people who can understand them know what it means, but also so that they're musically interesting for the people that have no idea what's being said at the time.
Right. And that makes a lot of sense. They do have, all the Alexander tracks have a texture and vocals.
Yep.
That very much fit the song. And that's something I've heard forever. I've got a couple of buddies who are composition people for audio engineers.
Yeah.
And very much, they will be some of the first people to tell you that, this is just another instrument in whatever song you're looking at. Alright, Force March. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Get another Omega in a minute.
Yep. It's punchies, then Omega, and then the dragon. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. Alright, this one will be in. So, hack your way in.
And all of the Bosnia forced marches. People and half of them immediately die.
I actually had a friend who took me to Bozja because we had she's in the process of doing, I think, all the Bozja weapons, and she's only got 4 more to go. So she's still running. Yeah. So she's still going through all the what is it? The DR runs.
So, Revenate's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot, but it was my first time doing it where it was actually an 8-man instead of a 24. That was a pretty interesting. Fortunately,
I believe it. Those runs sometimes survive off of having just way too many bodies on your side.
I mean, we did we wipe on anything? No, we actually we made it through everything in one run, but it was just very, very slow because most of the people there were new and didn't know to use. They didn't have any potions or essences or anything and didn't run any. So
all the essences and lost actions.
Yep. No, half of them weren't running any. So
easy, quick. I loved doing green DPS in all of those instances.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those were it, and it's fun. It's still one of my funnest things. Like I really think that was a really great implementation. It was definitely a better implementation than Eureka was.
Yeah, I hear very mixed reviews about Eureka. I still haven't touched it.
Yeah, mixed is exactly the right word for it. It's one of those things to where I didn't do it when it came out because it was so much of a slog. And it's because it was when they do everything when they try to pick out what they're kind of paying homage to, and Eureka is kind of this game's homage to 11. A lot of the things there are very similar to the mechanics in 11 and kind of the way that stuff worked there. But of course 11 was a huge grind. Like it put grinding in this game to shame.
That's what I hear. That's almost all I hear.
Yeah.
Like, people love 11.
Oh, yeah.
People playing it, but
yeah,
I hear it's incredibly grindy.
No,
and
they're
like kind of difficult to get around for a long time.
Let's see if so I played it for a little bit, and I played up to level 30, and 30 is the level. 30 was at that point the halfway point.
Mm-hmm.
And it was where you got your chocobo, so you could finally ride around and go places.
Sure.
To get your chocobo, you had to sit at this particular spot for 12 hours, real time. And every 2 hours or so, you had to feed a Gishel green to the sick chocobo. And after 12 hours of doing this, they'd give you your chocobo.
That's a bit much.
Yeah. And I think one of my friends mentioned that there was a fight in the game that would last, or that could last up to 18 hours.
That's also incredibly silly.
Yes.
Glad they learned from that.
Yeah. I mean, well, at the time, that was kind of the thing. I mean, even EverQuest was kind of like that. It was always how do we make these fights that are incredibly long and endurance tests of things.
Very true.
So, I mean, it definitely stuck to that old thing, and WoW was kind of the game that broke that mold of no, you don't need to be sitting there fighting something for 18 hours to be interesting. Just a large health pool does not interesting make.
Right. Yeah,
so
there are still kind of like world fights in this game that are like that, but to a much, much lesser degree. And then even WoW had, they never had fights that would last for 12 hours, but they did have... when raids would first come out, people would have, not raid locks, but they would be able to take a break for a few days and come back in the middle of a dungeon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, and I mean, obviously, my name comes from another game that I played called WildStar, and
I played WildStar for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was
right before it died.
Yeah. No, I played it for God, what was it? I played it from when it started free to play. When it started its free to play thing, it was it was pretty fun.
When I picked it up, yeah.
Yeah, it was a really fun MMO, and it had that same idea of like you could go through the raid fights and you could do like, you do 1 or 2 for the day and it would save your progress, and after that you'd just come back and you'd start over the next thing again. But
yeah, that was a fun game. It had a really nice like flow and feel to it.
Yeah. No, it was a wonderful community, and it was one of those kind of like, it was actually for the longest time it was like the go-to game for my streaming was WildStar, because it was just it was just fun and silly, and it had a nice mechanic to it, and I liked the fact that even though it was touting itself as like this big, hardcore raiding game, but of course the big thing there kind of like here was housing. It was of course. Yeah, so
that's forever an issue in MMOs.
I do have to say I like what they're doing with our housing system here. I think that, granted, short of making instance housing where everybody gets their own house and can do whatever they want with it, I think the lottery system is a much better implementation of it than what they've had. And
yeah, definitely. I've listened to entire hour-and-a-half or 2-hour-long podcasts all about that. Whereas when you have someone who really knows what they're talking about and plays the game a lot, and then their buddy who they do the podcast with just doesn't play MMOs, so they're completely ignorant of all these problems. And you're like, they eventually compared it to fishing, where like, man, housing is such a mess, but at least with something like fishing, you can't fish all of the fish out of the sea.
Yeah.
Housing.
Well, and like, I mean, there's a reason why it was called housing. Why it's called Housing Extreme, because like I've watched my friends go insane because they will sit there for 12 hours on end clicking on a sign for 12 hours just to try and get the house. And of course, then they get beat by somebody who walks in 5 seconds and goes, "Oh, I'll just click on it for fun. Oh, I got it."
Right.
Yeah, like so.
The lottery system is much better than that.
Yeah, I mean.
And we don't really know all of the details that are coming up with the new, I guess not housing, but the new instance player gardening stuff, right?
I am not taking, because they haven't said anything about it at all other than the vaguest of vaguest things. And I think that a lot of people are pinning their hopes that it's instance housing. And I'm like, no. Like if they...
He was waiting for 3 days for a house.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I know that there have been people who have done that, and for it's the most insane part of this game that didn't make any sense, and it wasn't fun. Like, you know, housing is at least, you know, it's a nice part of the game, and for some people it's their end game. So to make the process of just even getting into that such pain is
having that as kind of an end game. You know, a lot of games that have a ton of content and kind of go on forever have customization and fashion and whatever else that you can build around, like your own personal aesthetic, as part of their end game deal.
Yeah.
So that part makes sense. But like being able to give everybody a house, or having the housing districts like 14 has now, and being able to give everybody a house is just a huge nightmare.
Oh, absolutely.
The game, one of the funniest things in MMOs ever happened recently, when the game just said, "Hey, we're closed, you can't buy new copies, game's full."
Love that. Yeah. Have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMO that you can't get a part of because we're too full? Go away.
Literally ask people to stop doing the meme.
Yep. No, I love that, but no, I think I'm hopeful that the housing situation will, at least, I don't think it'll get better, but I think it will feel better. I think that it will be a lot less stressful for people. And
even if you can't super customize them like you can houses out in districts right now, which might be a problem because they've admitted they have server problems with all the different housing customizations.
So this was a really cool thing that I had a friend who's like super, like, insanely into housing, and she talked about how one of the things they looked at was their so you've heard of the floating, of floating in your house, right?
Yeah.
So apparently that was originally listed on the thing as a bug that was slated to be fixed. And it just so happened that at the same time they ran a social media contest for people to show off, you know, what cool things they'd done with their houses, and all the submissions came in, and of course every single one of them is using that bug to do things with the house, and all the developers in the room looking at all the creations that the people says, yeah, we're not gonna fix this stuff is too cool.
Right. That actually stays in.
Yeah.
This is a feature.
Yes. So no, but I love that she told that story to us. I was like, yeah, I can see that. I can see developers for a game like this, you know, seeing players doing cool things and be like, yeah, we didn't design it that way, but we'll leave it in because it's this is cool. So
completely tangentially, that's one of my favorite things about the Warframe development process. That's a fun, free third-person shooter game.
Yep.
way back in the day, it had like a stamina system, so you can dodge roll and run on walls and do all sorts of cool acrobatic tricks.
Yep.
But a thing people would do way back in the day was like do a slide attack while you're in the air, which doesn't sound like it makes sense, but whatever.
Yeah.
You're Space Ninjas, it makes sense.
Yep.
And they would do this repeatedly because it didn't take too much stamina and it made you go way faster. And people would have weapon builds all around going way faster. And so eventually they said, okay, our players want to go faster. We'll take out the stamina system and rework our movement system so you now have crazy acrobatics. And now everybody's just diving through the air all day long.
Yep. Nope. I've played many an hour of Warframe. That is in fact, that's actually one of the cool things. Who is it? Rebecca Ford, who's the community manager for Warframe. She plays Final Fantasy 14 on our server. On my other server, so we've played. Final Fantasy 14 ended up being her pandemic game that she played because of everything, and yeah.
She talks about it every once in a while.
Yep. She used to do lots of recruiting for things because she was playing it a lot. She's of course since then has kind of like she's gotten through the story finally, so she's kind of tamped down. But she's actually doing. She's got a group that she does Savage Raids with on the weekends. Cool. So yeah, but
I imagine she's a little bit more busy now over the past few months.
Yeah, but this is kind of her. That's her. It's her thing. Like whenever she has time off, she comes in and plays there. She has her big house that she does lots of decorating with and all the stuff. So, but it's always been a kind of a really cool thing because just there's a lot of crossover between. And I like to think that her time in 14 kind of influenced a little bit more of, hey, we should probably put out the new war a little bit sooner than than beforehand, because that story thing's really cool.
Yeah. I think it definitely has. She's also a huge Nier fan, and so that kind of influenced her.
Actually, I remember that was the original reason why she started playing was because she said, oh, there's Nier in this game. Oh, I can get the 2B outfit. I'm playing this game. And it took her a full year to get to Nier, to actually a full year to the day to get just when she started playing to get to Nier.
That's fair.
So, but yeah, it was funny because she worked so hard for that outfit, and she's like, yeah, this outfit's great, but it's just a costume, and I have other things that I'd much rather wear now, so I'm just gonna toss it now.
Wow. Still kept all of that stuff, and I almost never use it.
No, I don't think she actually tossed it, but she just never wears it anymore. She so. All right, let's see what we can do. All right,
let's keep going. We have one roulette down.
Yep, one roulette down, and only a few more to go. Let me actually do. Let's see since this is not 90. Let's see what I'm going to.
Yeah, run whatever, really.
Actually, you know what? Let me do Reaper this time because I just unlocked creepy Lala form. So if we get lucky and we get an 80, I'll be able to. I shouldn't really be saying that I'm going to be a creepy Lala because that just. I don't know if that either sounds creepy or that sounds redundant.
Yeah, it depends on who you ask, right?
Yep.
Depends on who you ask.
Yep.
Some people, laws, whatever. Japan players love them, and some people hate those potatoes.
Yeah, Lalas are definitely a mixed bag. I can tell you from playing them that it is definitely a mixed bag. Even just playing them.
I thought that playing as one would be almost advantageous.
Not really. I mean, there's not. No? I mean, there aren't. The only thing there are some things that it's nice with. Like if you're alone, no, because if the only thing I can think of where they might be helpful are in jumping puzzles, but I just get buried by everybody else that's there. I can't even see myself. So.
Oh sure.
Yeah, because literally everybody's taller than you. So
that's kind of the only thing that I thought of that might be sort of advantageous. You're very tiny, so you have everybody's got the same hitboxes when it comes to markers on the floor and such, but you're very small, so you can kind of more easily position yourself without being confused if you're still in that or not.
No,
But
it
yeah, if
yeah, it
everything is
doesn't.
standing on top of you, then
Yeah, it doesn't tend to make much, at least from what I've seen. And it's funny, my main character that's on Primal is a Vieira, and so she's like super tall, and I've maxed out her height, and I don't have it's not too. Oh well, all right.
hey, there we go.
That's more like the cues we're used to.
I like that. Oh hey, there's someone over there in Goon. I know those people.
All right, which one do we get? Ah, 70. That's good dungeon, so that's fine.
Oh, I haven't done the burn in a while. Nice. Hey, 2 Reapers. Very fancy looking paladin.
Yeah, that is a very fancy. What is he even? Let's see.
Is that
What is that outfit?
that has?
That is. Oh no, it's the fairy tale outfit from the Mog Station,
Oh, okay.
which I don't see a lot of guys wearing. So that's why I'm like, oh, okay, that's. Very unique look.
I definitely don't see that very often. I saw a couple of people running around with the Alaka finish set, and that was great. Not poison. Really?
Maybe if I press the buttons correctly, that'll work.
There. Yep.
There we go. Oh, and someone's new. It's probably the Reaper.
Oh, you're right. Someone is new here.
Yeah, I'll just all of a sudden notice that you're getting a bonus for this. I'm like, oh. And yeah, I'd like to think that since our paladin is an 87, I'd like to think that he's not new to this dungeon.
Hopefully. He's wall pulling and we're doing okay so far. Oh, except for...
Yeah, except for now.
Okay, well...
Oh, no, and well, that's the Reaper. That's fine.
It was the Reaper and not the tank. It's a little okay.
Yeah. Are we not?
Capture either.
But yeah, I think one of the things I've really appreciated, especially leveling the 2 new classes and seeing the things, is just how they've definitely gotten really good at the whole like building on whatever you start off with. Like I remembered, what was it? I think Black Mage was one of the ones that was really horrible about this, in that like what you can do at level 30 really doesn't pay a lot of mind into what you're doing at 60 or 70. Like the rotations are so different between the 2 of them.
Yeah, Black Mage especially changes up a lot.
Yeah.
Throughout leveling.
But one of the nice things I liked about Reaper was that it was really a display of the, oh yeah, we're making a character that or a class that as you, it's gonna be close. Oh wait, this is a line attack. Oh well, that's fine. We didn't need that one anyway.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yes, it's just one. It's fine. Yep. See, there's 3 more. I always forget this one.
You're doing fine. We just got crushed by a boulder while the paladin was wall pulling.
Nah, it's
okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
That's a thing that will happen. Greg says this doesn't always make him sleepy. I guess it is pretty monotone.
Yeah. Oh, no, still. The Reaper's trying to kill me.
He's better off not moving.
Yeah, that was when I was like, oh, no, we're not repeating that same thing. Oh, we only have one. Whoop.
Uh-oh. I think I missed that.
Yeah, that's fine. And I...
Okay.
That was spicy.
That was a little spicy. Had to go quite a ways away for that.
Yeah.
That's alright. I'll take 2 vulns if we live.
Yeah. What is it, that shirt? What is it, that's the shirt that has 16 phone stacks and like everything is fine?
I think I've seen a meme of that at the very least, yeah. God. Seeing a tank or somebody with 16 phone stacks would stress me out.
What was it? I was actually doing that earlier. I was doing a trust run as a tank, just, you know, to burn some time and, you know, finally start leveling up the avatars as they are now. But I was like, I'm just gonna be the laziest tank, and I'm just not gonna move. I'll pop my vulns when they're needed, but I won't do anything else than that, and just let everything hit me and see how well Alfino does with my stuff. And I think I was up to, by the end of it, 10 vuln stacks.
Oh, man.
And I was like, then it's like, this is why I was doing some. Of course, I'm doing that because I'm alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't do that unless they're your friends, and then you can.
Right, then you could just mess with them a little bit, or let them know beforehand. Either or. Well, I don't do the trusts very often, but definitely there were like 2 dungeons in Walker that were trusts the first time through. I think maybe even, I know I did Kitasha Hyperborea.
Yep.
At first, because you get
Yep.
all the old cool people in your party.
Yep. I think almost everybody runs that with the trust because of that, for that reason.
Right. I was really surprised when I saw, like, I used Party Finder and found an actual party of someone who was like, I've never run this before. My immediate thought was like, why are you with us? You could have been with Vana and Emmett.
Yeah.
And then he did Heidelin.
Oh, now I haven't tried. Well, I don't think you actually can. I don't think you can do it a second time with the trust, because I can't find a way to queue for it, because I did it with people the first time. But
you're right. I'm not sure if you can.
Yeah, it may just be a once, at least until they put New Game Plus on there.
Right.
For it.
So eventually, for sure.
Yeah. But of course, then you have to play all the way to 79 before you can, or 89 that is now.
Was that how New Game Plus works?
I think so. Like, from what I've seen of it, is that it allows you can, it kind of has like a save game system to it. So basically, you start over each chapter at whatever the start point is, and you can kind of you can pause and resume wherever you are in the thing. But I don't think I haven't done it yet to actually see if you can choose what spot you go to or not.
We might be able to start close to it then. Otherwise, best bet might just be to like wait until they slap a trust system on it. Basically.
Well, I know that one of the things that that this was kind of, that the last fight was kind of an experiment to see if basically if you could do a 7-person trust system without it going bonkers.
Fairly well.
Oh yeah, no, that's the trust system has come a really long way from the squadrons that it started out as.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the squadrons are still really painful to go through. Because they haven't revisited the AI system for that content, so it's all still
is that they're more just like following you around instead of actual AI that kind of wants to fight?
Pretty well, they give you more direct more direct control over them. So you actually, if you do the trust, you get an attack button and a disengage button and a use your limit break button. So they don't have.
You get a pet hotbar.
Yeah, you get a pet hotbar for your squad.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, so they haven't. Yeah, they haven't really, and it's like everything else in the game. If kind of once they've left it, they just kind of leave it and don't really go back to change it or improve it afterwards, unless there's like a massive, oh, there's something wrong here.
Sure, yeah.
Actually, why are we?
Probably not a huge problem or a huge call for them to redo it.
No, because it's just all old content, so most of the time they're just happy to leave it as is and be like, all right, it's as good as it's as good as it's gonna get, and not enough people are doing it now to warrant us going back and changing it.
Oh my god, I just noticed the tank's hair. That's not a helmet.
Wait, hold on, I gotta. Oh wait, that's not.
That dude looks fabulous.
Yep, that is a fabulous paladin right there. Yep, pull to the end, and that's as far as you go. And am I gonna get out of here? Nope.
Okay, well,
it's fine. That is the saying for all of this. It's fine. It's all fine.
This isn't a professional run. We got this.
Yeah. Nobody's watching. We just play like nobody's watching at all. Actually, I remember that was one of the that was one of the first things I had to learn for the longest time when I started streaming. Was they talked about was somebody gave me the advice of like, don't ever look at your numbers, don't look at who is watching, don't look at anything else like that. Just pretend that at any moment, at any time, that there's always 10 people watching your stream. They're all lurkers, but they're all watching your stream.
Right.
And
yeah, because that'll get you in the habit of like talking, and just running your mouth incessantly, kind of brain the mouth.
Yeah. His thought was, or the logic that he gave behind it was the fact that he said if somebody wanders into your channel, you always want to be talking, because who knows when they're actually popping in. And they said, and what was it? It was a really creepy, like it was some stats from, obviously from Twitch at the time, but they were like, people, oh, that's right, because I went to TwitchCon, I think 2-3 years ago. That was the one right before for COVID hit and they canceled everything. But I went to that
between like 1 and 5 years ago. I forget.
Yeah. But the advice he said is he's like, or it was one of the Twitch guys, like the actual admins for Twitch, or the guys who do the behind the scenes stuff. And he's like, from our data, we know that people who visit a stream for the first time make their decision whether they're going to stay or go in the first 15 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have those metrics.
Yeah, and he's like, so he was like, the biggest thing I can tell you from them is that if you're always talking, or you're pretending at least like there's people there, then that's more than likely that the person who's going to, if they drop in on your channel, will be at a point where you're doing something. And I remember a lot of times I would go in and look at people's channels. I just, I like hopping in, seeing new streamers, seeing people with very little views and seeing how they're doing. And it always saddened me how many of those people just, they don't talk at all. Like they just sit there. Even people with cameras on, they just sit there. No talking, no nothing. And even if you say something in chat, they don't acknowledge it. They're just like, nah.
Right, you definitely should ignore numbers and kind of always be talking, because that's how you can start engaging. So
yeah,
if someone's in your chat and not talking, like,
oh, and let's all be surprised that seriously, this one is such the newbie killer.
I think you just died again. Oh. Whoops. It does help to know if like, maybe I should wait on that res for like 5-10 seconds. This is totally
Oh, now here comes the... Actually, this one was horrible. This fight's horrible because of the blue mage more than anything.
Oh man, any blue mage, but it sounds pretty cool.
So in... This guy gives a spell that you can learn as a blue mage, but the only way you can do it is if you let this cast that he's doing, if you let it go off.
You let it hit you.
Yeah.
Oh, I got ice blocked.
Oh.
Okay, that's all. You survive.
Yeah, you're fine. Oh. And I'm going to put my shield on, because this is going to hit me.
I heard a little. Hey. Good stuff.
There we go.
Slow tank.
And we'll just stay right here.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Fight through those.
Here, I'm gonna... Oh, here comes the wreath.
Forgot how much I like
Ooh.
this fight.
Well, that's a good thing to have. We have two Reapers, one of which is not using his shield on anything, so I can now see exactly how much reduction my shield is actually doing. All right, and now we run around like crazy people until we find the thingy. There it is. Whoop.
Found it.
Found it. Oh, you. Ooh.
Oh, that's what.
And again, because why not? It's a fun attack. Also, I just realized we have 2 bars. Let's just go ahead and use this. Be done. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tank totally gets the comms. If for nothing else, for that glam of
Yeah, he did a good job, and oh my god.
Yep.
The pompadour.
The pompadour, like, that actually looks like it works. It works.
Yeah. Good job, yo.
Ah, look at that. Yeah, good GG, fancy tank. Nice, and straightening his shades for you too.
He knows.
Oh yeah, he knows. Yeah, that was a
good run. I haven't done the burn in a while.
yeah, that was good. It's a lot of. I like when I see those dungeons that I haven't seen in a long time like that. Like that's it's fun to revisit them. And there's only a few that I get and I go, oh, not this again. That's a good question. Which dungeon do you dislike the most?
I was just trying to think because I was gonna agree that there are definitely some dungeons I like to run, and it's either because of like the layout or a boss fight or two, or I really love the music.
Yeah.
What's not Malika as well, but like there's a hard AAR dungeon where you have to go around and get like oil and mess with a bunch of different levers and things to open a door, and I always forget which way to go.
That is the Wanderer's Palace.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything that I dislike more than that, and I don't particularly hate it. I just get in there and think, oh man, I never remember this at all.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of the ones that I don't like to run are all the old ARR dungeons, or some of the ones, because they were just trying.
Gregorius says Kitasha.
Kitasha. Yeah, that's definitely one that if I get that one, I kind of like. I mean, granted, it feels a little bit quicker now. Like I don't remember what it was. There was actually one I went through where the tank just pulled the whole thing to begin with, and it was fine. Like
right.
It's like okay.
Now things are kind of designed around wall pulls, but they weren't always.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you're right. Any of those that have like the stop mechanics where you have to interact with things, especially because they still have the, you're picking up a thing. Are you sure you want to pick up the thing? Now you'll pick up the thing. Oh, now you want to interact with the thing you picked up. Are you sure you want to interact with the thing that you picked up? Okay, now you're interacting.
The whole time.
Yep. It's all pop-up menus and just sitting there waiting. So like,
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think I like all of the Stormblood dungeons.
Let's see. Stormblood. What was in there that was...
Probably like all of the Endwalker dungeons. I got Malik as well a lot recently, but like the golem with buckets on its head and hands always makes me laugh, so I like that one.
Yep. That always makes that one fun.
Yeah, I guess a lot of like hard mode AAR dungeons.
Yeah.
Get kind of annoying sometimes.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick something out of Stormblood that I didn't like, I think probably the worst designed one, or the one that I probably like has kind of like worn off its charm, is probably either the Temple of the Fist or Bardom's Medal. Just because Temple was kind of just very...
Oh yeah, Temple of the Fist is a little annoying. I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, it's just kind of it's kind of one of those things, especially now where you just kind of run it and you never go back there again. But it never feels like it was fleshed out. And Bardom is just that middle fight. That's the gimmick. That you don't actually fight anything. You're just there dancing for 3 minutes or so. Is that?
I'm trying to remember which one Bardom's is. Is that the one, like that middle fight with the boxes that turn you into old ladies?
No, that's Shisui?
Yeah, that's Shisui.
Yeah. No, the Bardom is the one in the steps. So it's the one where you go and fight through all the doors, and then eventually you fight with the guy who's like, all right, go through step 1, and everybody gets in their 4 quadrants, and you all run around in circles and it's just dodging for like 5 minutes, and then you're like, okay, you've beat the boss, congratulations.
Right. Every single other encounter, or maybe even every single encounter almost, is just like a bunch of things jump in, and then they do some AoEs, and then they die really fast, and then again 1 or 2 more times. Yeah, that one's not very special.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, like it's one of those things where it's like the gimmick hits you the first time, you're like, oh, this is so cool, it's something that's not a boss fight, and after the 50th time it's like, oh, this dance again. So
it's not even like a particularly interesting dance.
No, it's one of those where it's like the first time you do it, it's interesting because it's something new and unexpected, but yeah, after that it wasn't. So, but that's of course like a very to say that that's the worst one is kind of setting the bar in places for sure. Let's see. All right, what do we?
Mostly I have dungeons that I really like, even if they're old, as opposed to like a few I hate.
Oh, actually, let's do, because I'm about ready to... I'm getting really close to leveling up my Paladin, so let's go for leveling with Paladin this time.
Sure.
And
we'll get one of those old dungeons.
Yeah. Well, yeah, watch, we'll get Kitasha now that we've talked about it. Yep, it's or Bardom, one of the two. Yep, it's gonna be one of the ones that we're like, oh, this one.
Oh no, we just said.
Yep, we've jinxed it now. It's all over. Yeah, oh yeah, and an instant one. Oh yeah, it's gonna be. Cross your fingers. What are we getting?
Man, I love the Rad Mahou music. Meg's not bad.
Funny enough, I think that if I was gonna have to pick one, I think that I'd probably pick this one as the worst one for me from Shadowbringers. Like, I love how colorful it is, and I love the design of it. Like, it's great, but like most of the, for one thing, the music's just kind of very lulling. It's like,
that's for sure.
Nope. And just most of the bosses don't like. Well, no, I take that back. The bosses are interesting. It's just all the stuff in between the bosses that I don't really care for.
Yeah. I can definitely see that.
Although this is
Really thinking about it, the frog boss is kind of the most interesting. The tree boss in between is whatever.
now. Here's the fun thing: is I hate that I see so many people who don't interrupt that.
Yeah.
Like there's so many people that I've run with, and they're just like, no, we don't need. You don't need to interrupt that. What are you doing?
Alright. Got a lily. We should be good.
Nah, it's fine.
Still always gotta do like 1 or 2 tier 2s near the beginning of the dungeon, and then everything is much smoother.
Yeah, I think honestly for this dungeon, it's mostly the music. Like the music is fine, but it's just it doesn't give you that kind of grab of like, oh, I'm getting excited about this.
Right.
This is not a long fall.
Right. Exactly. I was just about to say, it's no twinning.
Yeah.
It's really very hype at all. And it's not even some of the like cooler, more fun jazz tracks they have in the game.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? I really like doing. Stop paying attention for a second. I really like doing.
Here, we'll just do this one.
The old library.
Google?
Yeah. Google. I really like doing Google normal because of the soundtrack.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's just different, but it's still kind of, sort of upbeat jazz.
What's the one from Shadowbringers is like that I really like is the oh goodness, Amdapor I think is not Amdapor. That's goodness, I can't remember the name of it. It's whatever one of the dungeons where you're running through Amarat at the end. But it's got a real jazzy.
Is that Nyander? Whatever it's called?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Nider? One of those two?
Well, I think they both have fairly decent jazzy soundtracks, and I was happy to see that they did that again with was it Smelton? That has that kind of.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. I really like Smelton's music.
Yeah, well, I think it was I was mentioning that out of the 3 dungeons that came for the new one, Smelton's probably like my middle, kind of the middle of the two. Nothing is probably going to replace Dead Ends for me for a long time.
Done Dead Ends more than like once or twice. Smelton's an okay dungeon. I really like its soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack is really good, but I've run Dead Ends way too much because I've been trying to get the minion, and of course it decides it's never going to drop for me ever.
Little desire sensors.
Yeah.
But it's way more damage than it sounds like.
Bonk. Nope. Still got hit. Ugh.
I always think, oh, I'm in between, I'm fine. This way at 74. players with dual dungeon. It's 2 DPS for each hit. The second boss. What dungeon is that, Greg? I don't think I've seen any rage quit for longer. That's a lot of.
Yeah, I can't. Actually, no. I take that back. There was. I felt really bad. Was it? God, who? I think was it mine? I think it was on this character when I was clearing Zodiark for the first time, and I think we wiped once, and then it was an abandon.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, really? One? That's all it's gonna take for this one? Just.
I kind of felt like Zodiark was a little easy. That's kind of surprising.
Well, Zodiark, I remember, first time I played it on my main, we wiped, we did it 3 times. We wiped twice, and then we had to, and they tried to abandon it that time too. Come back here. I need to interrupt you. Thank you. Yeah, nobody likes that.
Yeah, Zodiark was cool looking, but I was, like, first of all, surprised by how quickly the story got.
Yes.
And then, I can definitely see it being hard for some people because the whole, like, field shifting around.
Yeah.
Thing. So if you go in there not knowing... Cast and healing? What against the cast?
Yeah.
I can definitely see some people getting confused by that pretty quickly, but that one, I think so.
Well, the nice thing is that if you thought that the regular Zodiark was easy,
See, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, no. If you thought that was easy, Extreme will be a absolute breeze.
Really?
Yeah, it was. It's almost the same fight, except they basically added a couple more things to it, and
okay.
A couple
like new surprise mechanics.
Not really. There's just so remember how they had the behemoths that explode? Mm-hmm. They add in serpents that do a donut.
Oh, okay, sure.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's not
Everything else is almost the exact same as it was for the regular fight. I went in blind. And we got it on the first try. Oh no, we got it on the second try, but I survived the first try as the last one to die. I was so happy about it. I was like, look at this! I'm blind and I don't even know what I'm doing, and I'm still alive.
Yep. That's some paladin privilege right there.
Actually, no. What was I? No, I think I went in as the Reaper.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't even the tank, and I'm still, because it was all just like, as long as you avoid the mechanics, you're fine.
Yeah. I found it really easy to avoid, especially after, what's the big, like, I'm gonna say big angel fight in Shadowbringers, and that doesn't really narrow it down. I think it's just an 8-man.
What, Innocence?
Is it Innocence? It's the one that has all the portals.
Wait. Fight with the portals. Was that the only one I remember that had the portals was in Eden?
Maybe it was in one fight. You have all the different lasers that go through portals and come out different portals.
Yep, that was Eden something. Yeah, I remember that one because that was totally my favorite fight from the Eden series, just because there was all kinds of like, all right, look behind you. All right, which one's the yellow? Which one's the red? Which one's coming out? Which one? All right, now.
A lot of time farming Eden has always got that fight, and that teaches you to just constantly be looking in every direction.
Yep.
So when it came to Zodiac, that was.
You were ready. You were like, no, we're good.
Yeah, I've done this dance before. There we go. Come out a little bit late.
Yeah. All right, where are? Grow, Lala, grow. The one time I actually get to be
almost normal size.
Yep, almost normal size. And it's funny because they adjust your running animation for the bigger size.
Oh, really?
So yep, so Lala's just like jump, 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 jump.
Almost skipping around. You were finally waist height instead of knee height.
Yep, yep. Unfortunately, everybody else went the same height, so I'm still
Relatively the same.
yeah, relatively the same. Although that's the nice thing when you can get to people that don't choose the that don't do the mechanics, avoid those things, and all of a sudden you're like, hello, I'm a giant-sized Lala standing next to normal-sized you. How do you feel?
Wow, when Gregorius mentioned people rage quitting in the middle of a dungeon, it was this one.
Wow. It's not, I mean,
Pulls are like,
there's only one pull that's really, really obnoxious, and it's the one that's coming up after this.
even then, like, the very first pull is almost the second pull. That's a little bit bigger than the very first pull. It's almost as bad. This one's definitely bigger. You've got like
Yeah.
a horse or two, and there's two genies.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the one that if I pull everything, if I'm going to wipe at any point, this is the pull I'll wipe on.
Well, I've got full lilies. So
All right, all right. Well, let's
find out.
What was it? It was the. I love there was a wonderful thing that basically was like, whose fault was it that you died? And it was basically like, oh, have you popped all your cooldowns? Yes, then it's not your fault. But if you haven't popped all your cooldowns, no, it's totally your fault. You should have popped your cooldowns. Yeah, this is actually your fault now. And plus, I still have the one nice thing about Paladin is that you always have you have your own poop button. Speaking of which, let's just might as well because we're.
Yeah, if you want to stop taking damage.
Yeah, let's just stop taking damage for a few seconds and see everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's good. I'm bending in the middle of that, but whatever.
Yeah.
Doing the big pulls.
Well, I know. For some reason, a lot of people try to save that for like emergencies, and I'm like, no, at this point, you should know the dungeons, or once you've actually cleared it, then you should know it.
Yeah, it's maybe going to be off the cooldown by the start of the boss fight, but definitely in the middle of it before we get that far in.
Well,
so, like, the more you use your cooldowns, the more smoothly you can take things and make things.
Plus they're there. It's one of those like if you don't use it, it's not like you get like extra XP or more loot at the end if you didn't use your cooldowns. It's just you didn't use your cooldowns. Well,
right. Like Monk has a bunch of different cooldowns. If I don't use 2 or 3 of them, then I'm just lacking. Don't I save them for the boss? Why? Just use them on the first encounter and make everything go faster, and it'll be back soon.
Yeah. In fact, that was. Love those folks who do this. I can't remember if this one was done by the Fukas or who did. Somebody did a wonderful infographic on limit breaks, and basically did all the calculations of this is how much damage each limit break is doing depending on what class is doing it, and all these things, and basically came up with if you're ranged, there is no reason if you have a ranged anything, there's no reason to not use to use it on a giant pack of mobs instead of the boss.
Yeah. Like, just raw numbers, the amount of DPS you get out of that.
Yeah, the raw numbers are good, and also the fact that it just helps you clear out those packs faster. Be careful with the balance beam.
I was just saying.
Yeah. This. Oh yeah, and there's actually that mechanic that's actually the important one that
Oh, yeah,
everybody
you know
does.
what? I do forget about that one.
Yeah.
I only ever remember the balance beam.
Yeah, yeah.
Usually I make it across that in one try, and then sometimes I just fall off 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, yeah. Well, as always, we'll go with the whole. Let's see who's getting featured on Lulu this week. Why is the frog a sexy red man? Oh, no, this is just look away, not the.
Oh, hey, guess what I did? This is the dump. This is the stand behind.
There, yeah. That happened. Here, have a pity shield. There.
Have a pretty group here.
Yep. Oh, here we go. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Blah. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Oh,
nice.
oh.
Everybody got the frog.
Oh no. The last minute.
Oh.
Oh, no. On that should, yeah, that's yeah, the oh no, really. There we go. Ah, goodness gracious.
Now he's a totally different boss.
That we've all seen before.
We've all seen before a couple of times, yeah.
Actually, it's even funnier because one of my, one of my FC mates, his name is Kuchalane, and he picked that before the boss came out. So of course he gets there and he's like, "Wait, I'm fighting myself? I don't look like that."
You do in some games.
Yeah, not this one.
I was always kind of happy to see Kuchalane and stuff, but I'm a big Tactics fan.
Yes, if you, yeah, this is the boss I like because he has the failure, form. And I think if I remember, oh, that's what it was. I remembered that if you do this with trusts, the trust, even as slow as they are, still can make it to where he doesn't get into failure form. So it's like if you ever see a group of people and they never finish this boss and they get the failure frog, it's like just realize that you're not up to the level of even trust performance.
Yeah. That's a little rough.
Oh, look away. And now hug his butt.
I want to get frogged again. There we go.
Hey. That was the thing. Oh yeah, we're gonna. Yeah.
We're lacking a DPS limit break, but hey.
That's fine. Tank gets the limit break then. Might as well. Like I said, you. No, oof. And that's a who has a house? Not me. Actually, we do have a house, but we have our guild leader takes charge of decorating.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of their right if they want.
Yeah.
As long as they were the ones that got the house.
Did they? I don't remember if they did or not. Oh yes, no, I thought it was good. Yeah, they got one house and then found our other plot and then said, yeah, I know we just moved to this one place, but we're gonna move to another place now. So, but it's and I know she wants to I know we have a small right now, and she wants to upgrade to a. Well, she wants to upgrade to a large. Is what she wants to upgrade to, and but of course I'm one of those people that think that like it's too big.
Yeah.
Like there's, and I found this out. This is the really interesting thing. So if you get a small house, your house holds 200 items. Mm-hmm. If you get a medium house, it holds 300 items. And if you get a large house, it holds 350 items.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
the same amount of upgrade.
Nope, and it's. Nope, and it's yeah, it's because of the I'm sure it's because of the architecture or whatever it is on the server side, but I know a lot of it but it's like still twice as much room each time. So like one of my FCs has a large house, and it just basically ends up looking like this very, even though if you max everything out, it still looks very empty because there's still only so much you can do with it. I know a lot of people actually. What they'll do with a large house is they'll actually like wall off the top floor.
So they just shove everything in the bottom.
Right. So so they can have more housing stuff in the bottom 2 floors and then square everything off from it. But yeah, there.
Makes sense.
And plus, our FC only has like I think 50 people in it, so it's not a large group to begin with. So it's one of those where like, oh, we really want to make this place feel empty. Nobody's here.
Right. Nobody home.
But I do like. It was funny until I joined this particular FC or was in there. I didn't have a whole lot of things for the neighborhoods. I was always like, just make it instant housing. Just give everybody a house and make it instant. There's no point in the neighborhoods. And then Then our FC moved into our place, and we actually ended up in a neighborhood where we actually have like a neighborhood watch and neighborhood parties and. Like several of the FCs around us, and we all just, are all good friends and good neighbors. And it's like that stuff would never have happened without it actually being a neighborhood. So
yeah, without being a neighborhood or a district.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a really fun social aspect.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like any other. It's like real life in that case, where it's like you actually have real neighbors, and you can.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're real people.
Yeah.
Really organize things.
Yeah. So. But I like it. Also, I managed to get to.
I don't know if I've seen my current FC's house, but of course I was just kind of like picked up when I came back in Walker.
Oh, so this is a new FC for you that you're in? Ah, okay.
I mean, it's a friendly, no spoilery type of place, but I think they mostly just invited a whole bunch of people in order to have lots of people in the FC.
Yeah. So the FC I'm in is it started out as being an FC for a Twitch streamer that I was friends with, who is she used to stream a little bit of Final Fantasy, but she was mostly an Apex player.
Sure.
She was horrible at it, by the way. She's like, no, I'm kidding. She was actually really. She impressed me because she played on PS4 with a controller and was like
if you're good at all.
And was sniping people with a PS4 controller, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't have that kind of.
Like, I can play Destiny or Halo with a controller, but Apex and other things, I have to do mouse and keyboard.
Yep.
Absolutely must do it. Otherwise, I'm a terrible shot.
Yep.
At any range.
Yeah. No. And she was routinely winning. So, but of course, we all just joked about it. Just said, "Oh, you're absolute trash. What is your problem? You didn't finish in the top 1, whatever." So, but of course, I'm still like going, well, yeah.
That's popular FPS chat.
Yeah.
Fighting games chat.
Absolutely.
Second place. That's first loser.
Nice. I like that. But yeah, so she played here, and I had played here before with another friend, and then she left, and but then found out that she was on this server, and she's been playing more, and Yeah, it's just now it's just a tight-knit group of friends that are all just here and play around and do stuff. It's nice. It's nice.
I'm looking at my FC roster right now, and we have 394 members, and 25 of them are online.
Wow, that sounds. Let's see. My main is in a huge FC. I think they're always capped. Like they're always at 512 people that are there. And they routinely have like 100, 200 people on at all times. So but it's interesting because even in a group that's big, there are still you can still tell people that are chatty and the helpful people. The people who want to, and even with a group that large, and they're still very, no spoilers. Let's keep everything friendly because, in an FC that size, you're going to have everybody's there. So.
Right. I guess there's only 25 people online. Like the longest absent or like since logged in day is only 6 days.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I think we have our in the
active.
Yeah, in my small FC, we definitely have people who haven't logged in like years. They just get get put into a rank of like, yeah, you're not. Although I did think they just did a purge, so I think we did actually clear some of those folks out.
Somewhat new.
Yeah. All right. I think I have time for probably one more roulette. Which one would you like to do? Because we've done the major ones from there.
Well, if you're running a little low on time, let's definitely skip main scenario.
Yes. Yeah. That's the podcast roulette. That's the podcast run. Even if you're not doing a podcast. Just listen to a podcast. Yeah.
Hour-long Netflix show.
Yep, hour-long podcast, whatever. Yeah, that's the.
I don't know. We could do either alliance or normal raids.
Let's see here. Take that one.
Trials will go pretty quickly.
We can actually probably fit in. See if let's push it and let's see if we can do a normal and an alliance raid and see if we can get what we can get out of that.
Yeah, we'll see where we are at the end of the next one.
Oh, I just queued up. Do you want a monk good for you?
As monk.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been playing as monk recently. I really like. I haven't done FPS. I haven't done DPS recently, so I'll go with that.
All right. Yeah, it's funny because this is always the hardest part one of. Ooh. Now this is one I don't get very often at all.
Oh, yeah. It's been a very long time.
Ooh, and a pair of sages to go along with it. Oh, and we're definitely getting a newbie bone. Oh, speaking of which, let me check my cat book.
Oh, you're right. Oh no, the black mage by the looks of it. And maybe even.
And are we?
Okay. I didn't catch it, but our black mage.
Oh heck! Be right back, really quick. Okay. I was about to go pull, and I was like, let me just read chat and see if anybody said anything. Yeah, somebody said they were AFK for a moment. So, good to read that before. And is it a? Hopefully, it's not one of the healers. No. Yeah. Let's see. What else do I have? What do I have left to do on my cat book for the week?
I should really do that more often.
I'm horrible about it. I constantly forget it. Well, of course, I don't. I feel a little bit bad about it because I'm always juggling 3 characters, so I hadn't have a problem keeping up with which one's done what and which one's completed and which one's there. But yeah, I always feel bad if somebody bought the $250 emote that comes with a free statue.
Oh, is that what that float just was?
Yep. That is the emote that you get if you purchase the Omega statue.
Ooh. Oh, okay. What they've been advertising recently, huh?
I can't say they'd be advertising it recently. It's been no. The one they've been advertising is the outfit. You can go buy their. That's right. Yeah. That's only like $12. No, the statue is $250 and it's been sold out, and now she's disconnecting. Okay, no, she's back. She back. Okay. Yeah, she was about to have the Pokeball of Death there. Let's see, how long do we give you?
least they're one of the healers. Hopefully, the fact that they spent $250 means they play a lot.
Yeah, no, I would like to think so. Although, yeah, no, I have one of the people I know who bought every single statue and has every single one of those emotes, and it's just which I think comes out to like over like probably like $1,500 or something like that in statues.
That's a ton. Man, if I win the lottery, I'll do that.
Yeah. But they were like, actually, I felt really bad. One of my friends was a huge fan of Shiva and bought the Shiva statue, and it arrived broken.
Oh no.
Yeah, like it had these like tendrils that came out of it, or like her little cape or whatever was in the back, and both of them were broken off.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and
it replaced?
No, because they only made a limited number of them, so they had nothing to replace it with. So it's like, yeah, no, you can go and glue it back together. Sorry.
Fix it yourself, sorta.
Yeah.
Ouch, that sucks.
Yeah. But he still got the emote, so you know that's what he bought. Well, no, he bought it. He totally bought it for the statue, but it's always the joke of yes, you bought a $250 emote that just happens to come with a free statue for. Let me do a.
They do still have the emote.
Yeah, let me just. I'm gonna do a ready check just in case. And
I think he might still be missing.
I think he's still AFK, but we're gonna do the check without checking.
Right. Oh, it's not complete yet.
Nope. He's still the only one that hasn't clicked it yet. So, which is fine. I don't mind waiting.
I don't either. This is the nice MMO. We can wait a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they went to go watch a vid on Midgardstormer.
Yeah.
They could probably use a refresher. I don't remember this fight.
So the thing to remember is that if he does 3 patterns. He'll do a circle and then another circle, and that means it's an explosion in the middle. If he does a circle and then a flip, it's a donut. So get in the middle. And if he does a flip and a flip, it's a cross pattern, so get into the corners.
Okay, that's not too bad.
That's and few stack mechanics. Well,
but stacks are pretty easy to see.
If I remember correctly, this is it's a multi-stack. So if you stack and then it hits a few more times. So it's one of those like don't run away immediately because stuff happens.
That's kind of mimicking Bahamut.
Yeah.
Hey, they're back.
Welcome. All right, we're gonna do a countdown then because everybody's already said they're ready. So we'll just make sure we're. Some people like rush into these things. I try to do a countdown as often as I can because.
I think it's nice. It gives everybody
Yeah.
coordination.
Well, especially like if you're like if I'm a red mage and I get a countdown like that, I'll actually do a long cast to start off with.
Exactly.
Because at least that one you can time. All right, so his first one's always a get out in the middle. Yeah, it's always 2 circles. And I think he'll do it as another 2 circles again before he starts adding the flip in.
Okay.
Yeah, so he does it once to show you what it was, and then he does it again to make sure you got that that's what it was. There was a really cool article that I read a while back that was written by one of the WoW developers who also played 14, and it was where he was a raid designer for WoW. And he basically did this, it's one of the reasons why I like Thornton so much. He did a mechanic by mechanic breakdown of the Thornton fight from a designer perspective.
Okay.
And was basically like, this is why this fight is so good. And it's one of the things that ever since then I've seen them do constantly. It's one of those things like once you see it, you can't unsee it. Is that the game always does this is they do the show it, and then they do and then we'll do variations on it.
Yeah.
So they always do the mechanics in a way that where you can still get hit by it, but you'll be able to take the hit the first time. But then they just kind of like repeat on that, and then they'll be like, okay, I've shown you mechanic A, now I'll show you mechanic B. Now here's A and B at the same time. Now here's mechanic C, and now we're doing A, B, and C at the same time. Now 1, 2, and 3 in a different combination, and so forth.
Yeah.
And
now that you've learned, we're gonna start mixing.
Yep. Now we'll start doing some variation. All right, corners for this one.
Right. There's the double flip. Oh, a little bit bigger than I thought. Still got out though.
Yeah. Well, he has a turn caddy corner for some reason that I don't know why. So it kind of. All right, we're doing a. Yep. So it's flip. If he does a flip first, it's always going to be double flip. Those are big, and now it's the cross pattern, so... And avoid him across one of the edges, so just... One X, then there's the other. Yeah. Now, is he taking the... Yeah, he's gonna take the boss, so we just take care of all the nails.
Really pointing the boss away from
Yeah, that's not the... Yeah, he's...
nail.
Yeah, he's pointing the boss towards his own nail. No, don't take it towards my nail. Keep you and your cone away from me. I don't care if I'm the other tank. Alright, and where did I put my thing? Oh, there it is. Okay, we're gonna face him that way. Sure. Sure, why not?
Slightly different direction this time, but
yeah. It's like, all right, sure, that's
doable.
Yeah, it's like you're the main tank. You do what you want to do there, as long as it's Oh.
Okay.
Bye, Black Mage.
Black Mage maybe didn't move when that edge of the screen marker appeared right on top of him.
Oh.
That's fine. I played that with Black Mage. That happens. Sometimes you just stare at your bar.
Yeah. Alright. Freeze time. Let's see what he's doing. Alright. Circle. It's either going to be in or out. It is get out the middle.
Oh. Just a second too late. That's fine. Wow. I love all the healer arrows coming in immediately.
Alright. Cross. And I stay in the corner so that... Ah, that poor Black Mage. Alright, where is he coming from? Oh, he's coming that way. Oh, of course, and you're... Oh.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep, I was like, we're fine with that one. Oh, cross again. I'm gonna get in that other corner since nobody else is there. Ooh. Ooh. That one's always the spicy.
Yeah, that one stings a little. Riddled of Earth, even though it's not a thing that I normally do ever.
Yeah. I think that's almost it. Yeah, please drop that somewhere else.
Scoot away from that blizzard. Someone slid that right on top of me.
Oof. All right, there's the safe spot. That's no longer a safe spot.
Increasingly less safe.
Oh. Alright, are we in or are we out?
Circle one.
Circle one. Oh, it's in.
And flip.
Ooh. That's fine. We got it. And also, who needs limit break yet again? Here.
Yeah.
Ah, the other healer beat me to it.
I was thinking about the limit break a little while ago, and then like the flips happened.
Yep. Oh, and don't need to worry about any of that loot.
Exactly.
At least eventually. I do eventually want to do the... Did I do Savage on this one? Or or is it only... I can't remember. Let's see. Do I have Omega on here? I do... No, I still have to do the Savages on this character. Because I definitely want to get some of the Omega armor pieces are still really good look. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this guy who popped in.
Pompadour.
Speaking of the Pompadour, it looks great. It looks great on some people, but then it's on a Lala, and you're like,
Well, the other guy was matching this.
he was just
like
pink.
He's hot pink everywhere except for the Pompadour.
Yeah.
Hot pink pants and shirt and mustache.
And then there's the
then there's the like moss-colored Pompadour. I guess it matches his one glove. That's loud.
Yeah.
Definitely still loud.
It is that. All right, yeah, we've got enough time for our Alliance Roulette, and then we should be good. All right.
We're gonna do Alliance Roulette. I'm gonna go Dancer because Peloton, and I don't lose as much.
You know what?
I won't have dance partner.
I am actually gonna go as. Well, I'm gonna start off as Black Mage just because I like my Black Mage glam, and I want to wear that for a while.
Just like that.
Yeah. When last raid tier's gear is glam.
I think that looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it's a really fun looking thing. So, and for some reason, I happen to know way too many people lately that just have like I knew somebody who played through Endwalker, all the way to 90 as their Black Mage, and has now retired it and doesn't like it anymore.
Oh.
Because she's like,
really?
she's like, I don't like, I always am getting hit by everything because I have to stand still, and I can't move around.
That's Black Mage.
Oh yeah.
That is Black Mage. You get 2 skills, or like 3 skills, kind of. You get your ley lines, and then you can hop to somebody else and hop back to your ley lines.
Well, here's the thing: is like, and this is what I think a lot of people are missing out on is the whole triple cast thing, because they give you another stack, and of course like that's literally your mobility button. It's you need to keep casting while you're moving.
Right. Yeah.
Hit that, and your
quick cast and your triple casts are not only critical to your DPS, but they let you move around a little bit.
Yep. So I tend to, funny enough, I haven't gotten obviously I haven't gotten to 90 yet, so I don't know how the rotation changes, if at all. But like I know from
it's not as drastic as previous changes in rotation. Like whenever things would like they'd give you a new skill or two, and that just completely changes, or they give you a new thing on your meter essentially.
Yeah.
Paradox is cool because you can either instant cast it while you're in ice phase, and it resets the timer on ice phase.
Nice.
Or you can you can't instant cast it in fire phase, but it does reset the timer on fire phase, unlike Fire 4.
Right.
And it can do the fire starter proc where you get the instant free Fire 3.
Yep. No, like I mean this tells you so much about the Black Mage skill thing, is that you have all your buttons wherever, you know, your buttons in the, if this is Crystal Tower, I'm taking another hit. I like that. All right, well, you lose on but yeah, like I always look at some of my skills, and most of the skills that are there usually get put on the bar in kind of the order that for the most part in the order that they appear, and yet the Fire 4 and Blizzard 4 are always on my top bar because they're just like you just use them so constantly after 60.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've got all of my, like for controller, I've got all of my fire and ice stuff on face buttons, and then fire is just R, and ice is just L.
Oh, that's nice. That is. Where we be?
Someone's hanging back. Black Mage is kind of complicated. There's a lot to juggle once you get a feel for it.
It doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't feel like there's a lot, especially since I think the biggest thing for me was when the previous one where Enochian was a skill that you had to like constantly keep up and recast and so forth. And of course, if you cast and then immediately lose it for whatever reason, you're screwed. So I'm a huge fan of the new one. It's just.
Yeah, where it just takes down
just cast it and go. Just cast and go.
Right, exactly. Are you in a phase? Okay, it's going.
Yep. Yeah. The fast Reapers.
Yep. Always ahead of everyone else now.
Yeah. But that's fine.
Terrible dancer. Good dancer.
Oop.
Maybe I was expecting Crystal Tower too.
Yeah. Yeah, Alliance Raid. What was it? I think still the biggest surprises are when I do Alliance Raid and I end up getting near.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you're like, whoa, really? Are you serious right now? There were 2480 people queued up?
Right. Oh. I've totally been like at the end of my day being like, okay, I'll do Alliance Raids all I got left. Okay, we'll do like a really chill tank run, get some Crystal Tower. Oh. You gotta pay attention now.
Yep, that
flops right on some ley lines.
Oh god, there's a horrible meme that I've seen going around lately that just kills me. It's a macro that black mages are using that basically every time that is a macro that people are using for when they cast ley lines.
Yeah.
That just basically goes, I am now currently casting ley lines. Ley lines allows me to cast 15% faster. This is good DPS for the whole party. For this reason, I will not be moving. Please do not drop any AoEs on me. It is now 27 seconds before my ley lines goes away. It is now 13 seconds until my ley lines goes away. It is now 1 second until my ley lines go away. My ley lines have now gone away. We will repeat this message in 90 seconds.
Yep. Wow. Again, that's a bit much.
That is.
I mean, that's really funny, but I would get pretty tired of that after seeing it once.
Yes. Granted, I hope that people make those macros and only do them either with friends or do them once just for the chuckle of it. I'd like to hope yeah, with oh, we're inside this time. All right. Usually we don't get inside. Oh, where am I?
Just get outside.
I mean, not that I mind. It's one target for me to target, and I don't have to move.
Easy. I don't do this right enough to know if that's like by alliance group or not.
It is.
Okay.
Oop, did not make that one. Oop. Did I see? Did we get? Are we getting a? Yes, we are getting a newbie bonus for this one.
Nice. Someone said they've never done this before, or they've never tanked this before. One of the tanks has never tanked it before. But it's not. This isn't like too terrible.
No, this one's fine. Funny enough, the thing I had really hoped for this when they did the squishing for everything. I'd really hoped that they would have tuned the original raids a little bit more, like the Ancients and Circus and World of Darkness, because it still pains me to this day that especially the second boss of Circus, that you never see his mechanics at all, like none of them. I hate the fact that Scylla.
It took me like a year to learn that he had a second phase.
He has 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you'll never see that. And it's
Don't get through them all. He's completely trivialized. He's not a threat at all anymore.
Yeah.
Because he can be.
What was it? Scylla has a what? How to describe it? She has a phase like so remember Labyrinth of the Ancients? Everybody has to go back to your panels for Ancient Flare before it blows everything up. Scylla does that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've absolutely never seen that.
Yeah.
Probably never will.
Yeah, no, you have. That's what the electricity things that you take on the outside are for. It's supposed to set up that barrier so that when she starts casting it, you can basically trap her in her own.
And now everyone just knows it as like, well, that's how I get the orb off me.
Yeah, no, people don't even know that. I've seen so many people just let that orb just explode on them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And some of that is not knowing, and some of it's like, well, this is.
Yeah, what else? What are you gonna do with this? No, it's not.
Just let it hit me. It's fine. It's not a freezing orb. It's fine.
Yes, instead it just does like a third of damage to the entire raid. But you know, yeah, sure. Just healers adjust.
Yeah, exactly. There's the classic healers adjust. Uh-oh.
I was about to say, don't tell me I'm tanking. Actually, that is one of the memories that will stick with me for a very long time. Was one of the very first. It was back when Labyrinth of the Ancients first came out, and everybody's new to everything. Is the very first Alliance raid, and everybody's doing anything. And the very first one I went through, I will still remember that we all lined up, and everybody's like, "Well, what the heck do we do here?" And this black mage goes, "Don't worry, guys, I got this." and he just runs up in front of the boss and hits it with his stick and is immediately plummeted in one hit.
Yeah.
But I will always remember that.
Black mage or a white mage should do ever.
Yeah, but I just will always remember the gusto of that guy. Don't worry, guys, I got this.
That's funny. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a modern Leroy.
Yeah. But he didn't even get chicken. Oh, I forgot. I need to watch and see which one gets the now I'm actually casting magic. I need to actually look and see which one gets the magic vuln.
Right.
Or the not magic vuln, they get immune.
One's like invulnerable to melee, the other one's invulnerable to ranged.
Oh, and it's not doing it.
There.
Oh.
Maybe not.
Oh. There we go. There it goes. He's okay, but it's ranged attack, so that's fine. Magic is technically not ranged.
Yeah, that'd be throw a loop at some things.
Oh, we got oh. Let's not get eaten. Despite how funny it is. Can a tank take the tree? No, because people are not.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, now we gather. Out of my range. Oh, Jennifer.
Icarus, you poor person, you flew too close to the dog.
Oh yeah, our party. Iku, no.
Save the squirrel, taunt the tree. I always do appreciate runs where it's like this. Like, I'm never this witty. I'm never witty enough to actually be able to pull off half of these funny sayings that go on during raids, but I always appreciate the people who do. 'Cause they always make even these older ones much more tolerable.
Right. Because this isn't going to be much of a challenge, even with kind of an inexperienced party.
Nope.
Like maybe a couple of places later. I think this ball. Yeah, it's nice when even if you have a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing, you have instead of rage, just people joking around.
Yeah. No, that's always
Honestly, one of the reasons I keep staying with this game. Like,
Yeah.
It's fun, and I like all of its mechanics and how it's built, but the community is fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I remembered hearing about like some of the what was it? There was something that got posted to my Twitter feed, and I keep hoping it's a joke. But it was somebody who claimed that it was a Discord feed from a WoW Raider FC that basically said the equivalent of, if we catch you playing Lost Ark, we will consider this to be your resignation notice from our guild, and we will terminate you from both our Discord and our FC. And additionally, if we see that you say that you're playing it at all and are just trying to hide it from us, we will also terminate you. You are here to raid. You are not here to play anything else.
That's the type of community that I just wouldn't join to begin with.
But of course, but from what everybody was saying, like, that's slightly common for anybody who wants to do, in-game stuff there. Like, I'm sure there are fun raiders, but like that mentality just does not exist here.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't exist here, and that's great. It is, I think, somewhat common in like hardcore raiding groups and setups.
Yeah.
We'll play this game like it's a second job. No, that's not a joke.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there are a lot of people that do that, especially for what is it? I've never seen one that has like limited like what you do in your off time. Like, sure, I've known some hard raider groups that are like, we are going to be practicing 6 hours a day until we beat the thing, or you'll dedicate at least this amount of time to playing, and but I've never heard of one that's like.
In a world first group, then you probably expect that. But otherwise,
Yeah, I mean, if you're joining a world first group, then yeah, you're signing up. That you're definitely signing up for. You're here to race. You're here to win.
right? Exactly.
But
all of your weekends are spent here.
But if you are, and I think that that's also part of the design, like the fact that you can't just. I don't know if WoW is the same way or not, but like here I know if you do end game rating, you are still limited in how much you can get per week. Like that you can, at a certain point, the loot just shuts off, and they say, nope, you've had your 1 or 2 chances to get loot this week, and if you got it, then that's it, and thank you for playing. Come back next week.
I haven't looked at WoW in a long enough time to know if that's still how it works or not. I think there was some limiting like that. You only get like a weekly run at whatever's newest.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've heard all the stuff about like Mythic rating and Mythic Plus rating and have no concept of that because that was all before my time. I'm going to be kidnapped after this. I'm not ready to
What?
I don't even know what's being said in our party. Yeah.
Context for that.
Yeah. Let's see, hold on. Let's read this. See. I see a pig. I was talking about the guy in chat earlier. Forgot it was a pig and not a bear. I'm thinking of a bunny. I'm going to be kidnapped. I'm not ready to read. That's okay.
Is this the same
I didn't like these quests because the cat freaked me out. I don't. Yeah.
This is the Sky Pirates thing.
Yeah. Yep. So there is the cat. Yeah. There's the cat. There's at least some context that makes sense. The rest of it does not.
Context that makes sense. Is this the same person that said, "If this is Crystal Tower, I'm taking another hit"?
You know what? Sure. I don't know if that's the case now, but we're gonna assume that because that's the one that makes sense. Or maybe it's the one who didn't say that they're taking a hit because they've already taken too many. Who knows? All right, we're gonna stand on this thing because that means I'm tank now.
The Sky Pirate quests were okay. I mean, it's one of my. I wasn't like really enamored with this representation or version of Kate Sith, but also I was never a huge Kate Sith fan.
Nah. No. I mean, I remembered I liked when this came out. I really enjoyed the story, and I was actually disappointed that this was the Alliance raid, and this was not the the normal raid. Because we had just come off of Coil, which was like super serious plotline and everything else, and so of course I'm expecting something serious for the next raid, and what do we get? Goblins piloting giant mechanical whatchamacallits that fall apart at the first sign of anything. I'm like, this isn't serious. But of course, then they released this one. I'm like, oh, this is serious. This is a story about like goose and goblins and everything else. Like this should be the raid thing. But of course, then like after a while, Alexander finally warmed up to me. I was like, okay, it's still silly, but it's fun silly.
Alexander is very silly. At least, even if you really don't like that silliness, it still has banger music.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely. Like
that's probably some of the first music that people show people who don't play 14. Like if they want to show off some of the great music.
Yeah.
That, or I mean, there's also just every expansion is really good. It's impossible to make a choice.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'd show off the twinning so much because of even though, it's a nice, the meme is funny and everything, but of course that's also like one of the, at that point it was like an end game dungeon. So it's like, see this cool dungeon? See this cool music? Yeah, you're going to take 120 hours of playthrough to get to it. Have fun.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Yeah. Well, we do have new people, so that is
It's true.
That is the thing. Oh, I'm gonna. Boop. Come on. There we go. Oh, oof. People did not hit the other. Oh, jeez. That was, yep. I can't remember the last time I've seen that many go off.
Right?
Oh, wait, did I actually see that correctly? Am I seeing that we have I am seeing that correctly. We have a neon pink Reaper.
Nice.
Let's see this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is a happy bunny.
Fuzzy neon pink Reaper.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Like nice fur coat.
let's scale that up so we can let's all be able to take advantage of. Of course, they're from Balmung. This makes so much sense now.
Even their scythe is neon pink.
Yep. And yet another Lala with the pompadour right next to her.
God, is that a third pompadour?
that is 3 pompadours in one stream. I don't.
Right.
Yep.
Well, that one's all white with the glasses. He looks pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah. I'm not gonna deny that is
That's much better looking than that second, that first Lala. Green hair is fine, but like dirt moss green hair on top of hot.
Yeah. How do we? I hope we waited for. I just ran up to it like I was a Reaper and started hitting my 1 button, going, "Why am I not attacking this thing?"
Have this for a little bit.
Oh. Now you don't have my go back to ley lines button yet. I should have just shielded. This was a waste of my time.
You still dodged it. Only a Raleigh.
No, that's what I'm saying. I should have not dodged it because I couldn't teleport directly back to my ley lines. So I should have just taken the hit. Healers are just.
Yeah.
Oh, that's. Wow. That's the first time I've seen that happen too. The person who had the stack marker leapt out at the wrong just at the wrong moment. So they ate the stack by themselves.
I was wondering. I don't remember the boss appearing at the edge of the arena. For
Yep. It's like they do when the guy leaps away.
Dude, was that a Dragoon that did that? We have 1 Dragoon.
Let's see. Who is this? Let's see. Let's find our. Squirrel. No, it's a Reaper, but they have the same like leap to them. So.
I'm gonna point all of these away from each other.
No. Let's stack them up. Obviously, because that allows them to have.
I mean, that works with my DPS,
7.
but,
And I'm okay.
Yes. Okay. Now we've got them all pulled apart.
That's nice.
And by
Spread them like cheeks.
Even more accurate. They said that after 2 left. Crawl back. Or, yeah. Disappear in darkness back.
Yep. All right, let's just see. I'm gonna pick this spot. This is my spot now. We're gonna do the. I am standing here. You can't make me move out of my ley lines. Let's see how safe I am.
Technically speaking, I don't think they can force you to move.
No, but I'm interested to see how safe I. Oh, but I can still stay in my. Nope, but I can still stay in them.
Oh wow, were you in the middle for that?
I had to go on the edge, but it's still in there.
Still ley line covered.
Still ley lined.
Very, very nice.
Oh, and look away. Yeah, if anything, the one interesting thing about playing Lala is how it screws with your camera angle so much.
Is your camera like naturally lower?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
That could be kind of screwy sometimes.
So,
For sure.
Yeah, normally I actually have to, and I've started learning to do this because somebody had a tips and tricks video and was like, oh, you do know that you can adjust your camera angle up and down so that you're, position your character at a certain point on your screen and it'll just stay there.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I love the fact that I'm like, yeah, that I've played the game for like 8 years. I'm like, oh, I can still learn things that'll make my life easy.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, pull the snakes away. Oh, and look away before she... Did I miss it? We'll find out when the server catches up. Oh, I dodged.
I was just targeting the snake while it was behind me is all.
Yeah, no, I think that's been probably the best thing about playing this game for as long as I have, is just seeing watching things, how they've evolved, and just how like better the team has gotten at making these kind of encounters and things.
Right. I was kind of thinking that earlier. Like, they definitely have learned a couple of things about designing encounters at this point.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Who's the new player? Oh, I think he left. Dang.
But Sophie will get mine because she actually raised me. So after I died a pitiful and horrible death.
Usually I commend the tank or the healer, especially if they did even a halfway decent job or didn't screw up. But I like giving it to new people too.
Yeah, new people are. I try to for the most. I remember like for the longest time I always used to meme. It was always the who is the worst person on my team. Cool, you got calmed on that one. Did you die 5 times? Pity calm for you. But yeah, most of the time I try to pick out if it's whoever I think did. I mean, I try to do it like like it's supposed to be done. Like you pick out who you think did a good job.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Use them what they're there for. So. All right. Well, I think that is going to do it for me for the night. We ran a little bit over, but that is fine because I was having a lot of fun. Plus, we spent like the whole first half. Plus, we spent the whole first hour talking, so we only got like 2 hours of actual playtime.
45 minutes. At least 45 minutes just talking about stuff. We didn't even get around to like, hey, so what's your favorite Final Fantasy outside of this?
Yeah.
Conversations.
Yeah.
Well, we can do that next time.
Yep, absolutely. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad. So let's all send a thanks to Greg for suggesting this and getting us all connected for this, because this was a lot of fun. Yep, absolutely.
Your internet hasn't died on you and you're still here.
Yeah. Well, he keeps popping in and out, so I'm hoping that he's here for the last part of it, or if nothing else. That's the one thing I like about YouTube is that you can always just go back and watch it again later, and it's actually easy to watch, unlike that other place.
Yeah, it is really nice that we get like our videos kept around.
Yeah, that's good. So all right.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks very much So yeah, I'll just say thanks very much for teaming up with me for this. This was fun, and I hope we get to do it again really soon.
Yeah, for sure. I don't really have many plans for like any more 14 stuff, but I'll probably do like Reaper or Sage streams, I guess, soon, because I haven't tried those jobs out yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, same. It was fun. We can do stuff like this again.
That'd be great.
Oh, Greg said he's still here, but dying with his internet.
Yep. That is the way
right.
That's the way it usually goes for that. So, all right, I'll go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and cut off my stream now and say thanks everybody for watching and doing all that fun stuff. And as always, let's do the fun pop-up that says that, for either of us, if you liked any of what you saw on either of our streams tonight, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, and all that kind of good stuff. And
please like and subscribe.
Yeah. Smash that like button. Ha!
The YouTube meme.
Yeah, that's it.
Well,
and absolutely, thank you very much, Rad. It was a great pleasure, and yeah, like I said, we'll have to do this again very, very soon. It's great.
Sure, I'm down.
All right, have a good night, guys, and we'll see you all next time on all of our respective channels and stuff.
Bye-bye, Kitasha's chat.